Hi, I'm John Lovitz, and you're watching The Craig Shoemaker Show on the John Lovitz Comedy Network.
It's The Craig Shoemaker Show with Craig Shoemaker, Sarah Sweet, and Joel Geist.
You're listening to Craig Shoemaker, America.
Who did this to you? Kira Sultanovich is our guest.
You are the love master. But don't you have like 17 kids?
I have another one on the way.
Stop
I
it.
swear to God,
Dude,
a girl.
you need to pull out. We get it. You're fertile.
We have Eric Griffin is here. I'm glad you're here. Why don't you co-host every week? Male co-host.
First of all, I'm looking around and I need to call the NAACP about this. There are a lot of people in the room. You know what I mean? No, this is honky central right now.
No, we're going to get to that. It's Katie Seagal. You're going to be on a show that I love. And am I allowed to say it? Are you allowed to say it?
Yeah, which show?
She's got so many of them.
Frangela, they're coming in. Why do you think you should be on The Price is Right? Play the Asian thing. If she goes, it's called Price is Light. I swear to God, we're a winner. I think I have created a person who would be chosen.
We're dangerously close to me telling you, Francis, to go to the Price is Right with like a bone in your nose. You know.
Hey, hi, who's this?
Hey, this is John Resnick.
From the Goo Goo Dolls.
From the Goo Goo Dolls, yes.
Everything he sings sounds amazing.
Can you sing Mary Had a Little Lamb?
Mary had a little lamb.
Wherever I am, there is joy and laughter. Yay. No?
Yeah. Make sure to visit our website, craigshoemakershow.com.
Put my opening. I buried it in my notes. I could talk to you about ice skating and snowballs.
I love that we always start and I'm always out of breath. We all just look so calm and then all of a sudden...
And if you're listening and loving what you hear today, rate us on iTunes and subscribe. Or tell a friend or two and spread the word about our show. You can donate anytime. We need donations. And we'll talk about that in a second on why Sarah's not here right now. And why Joel's actually not here as well. Right? Joel went out with the bathwater on that one. Clicking on Amazon, banner at CraigShoemaker.com. That's all you got to do. Is if you buy something on Amazon, just click through our banner at CraigShoemakerShow.com or CraigShoemaker.com. We get a kickback on everything, and it'll go to repairing Sarah's car.
And along with donating, also donate to the show by sharing the love on Facebook, Twitter. That's so important.
Yeah.
To let your friends know you're listening and watching to a free show.
And
We
what do you
appreciate
like
it.
about it? You might not like today's show.
Because I'm on it, by the way.
No, that's nothing to do with you, Dave. This is Dave Neal. I tour with Dave Neal now and then. He's kind of my nephew-in-law, a producer of the show.
I tour with him, I think. You said you tour with me.
I said I tour with you? Everything's backwards today, including why you're in that seat. So I walked in today. By the way, our audience of one is here.
You're a attorney?
Well, yeah, in a way, yes. Bill Weiss is here. He's actually, by the way, it's W-A-I-S.
W-A-I-S, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So Weiss.
Weiss.
I thought it was Weiss,
Well,
but
if
it's
somebody
confusing.
says Weiss, I know they got it spelled right.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's right. That's how he works it.
You look like an attorney.
He does look like an attorney. So
I try real hard.
we actually, I will tell you, this is something you didn't know, by the way.
Okay.
About so Liz, my business manager, found Bill because I had to do one of those living will type of things. That's what we did, right?
Living trust.
Living trust. Yes, I have no idea why it's trust.
Right.
It's like I put my trust into him, I guess. So and
part of it.
so he deals with all of my where this one's going to go. By the way, we have to amend it now. I have a new baby.
No, we already said
Oh, you
that.
already took care of it. See how good he is.
Doesn't that spook you?
Yes.
To amend, to talk about
Death?
reality?
Well, he walks in and he already has that kind of conservative look. He's the perfect person to approach you, and basically in his own way, basically said, "We're going to talk to you about your death. Let's just get that out of the way." I think that's how the whole conversation started. But here's something you don't know. You know I'm a comedian.
Oh, absolutely.
So
I went to the June show at the
you went to the show, yeah.
And I laughed my ass off.
I love that you laughed.
And I'm an attorney. I laughed my ass off.
I know, and that's tough. I played for a room full of attorneys. There's only one worse audience: dentists. I've done dentists and I've done lawyers.
That show a
Dentists.
few weeks ago was neuroscientists. That was not good.
Yeah, we've had
There was a
neuroscience.
neuroscientist convention at La Costa. They overthought every joke.
That's true. They were going, let's break this down with its molecular
It's a
structure.
punchline, laugh.
I thought that Dave should have led with the atomic formula for. No, exactly. They're very brainy.
Yeah.
So in the laughter world, you want to connect with heart also. You want to connect with all of that. Clark wants to talk to Craig. We got a phone call already.
Nice.
Okay, maybe Clark will tell me what's going on with Sarah and Joel. Hi, Clark. Hello, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Hey, Clark,
How are you, Craig?
what's happened? What do you want to talk about?
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing your show up in Seattle in 5 weeks.
Yes, it's coming up in 5 weeks at the Triple Door, selling out, by the way. I hope you have your tickets.
I got my tickets beginning of February, so
good move. Now, what are you calling about? I was hoping it wasn't. Hey, I need some free tickets. I've had a lot of that happen.
No. I pay my own way. My wife and I are big fans, and we're looking forward to seeing you. And I was wondering when you're going to post some more pictures of that beautiful little girl of yours.
Oh, I kind of backed up. It's funny you would say that, Clark, because I actually intentionally brought that back a little bit because I got some blowback. I guess some of it has to do with the stupid jokes I attach. I said something like, "There's a great photo I have of Chloe and Jackson in our bed," and I said, "I keep finding these lumps in our bed."
That's good. That's clean.
Yeah, some people, using your kid, that kind of stuff, and
You know what? I would tell them to go pound sand.
I would say it in a more direct way, but you're right. Go pound some sand. Well, I backed up on that. You have to listen to people sometimes. So I will be posting more. I have some great new ones of Chloe and our whole family. But the other thing is, to tell you the truth, Clark, is as a comedian and an artist, a performance artist, and so forth. He just left, but I'm sure he's still hearing me. You know what it is, Dave, is that you try to, you just basically have to come from all of these different colors. There's so many different colors in the palette. And I never wanted to, and I think that's one of the reasons the career is sustained. We talked about this backstage once in that one podcast, is kind of like what the process is. And the process for me is you don't want to ever leave who you truly are. You want to be authentic.
Right.
But then again, though, that authentic self is very diverse and has so many different elements and aspects and characteristics. So I try to bring them all instead of, I don't want to just keep doing the family thing.
Yeah.
So then you get all the people that go, hey, I'm single, I don't relate to this, I'm out.
Yeah.
So I don't want those people to go out. So it's not like a pound sand thing, but it's basically, I don't want that to be the sole topic.
Right. Well, where you are now isn't necessarily where you were when you were my age. Ooh. So you relate to me and the living with the roommates and the hustle. And,
I do. I relate to it like it was yesterday.
And it's probably what I see with men who've already lived that life is that nostalgic. Like we a couple months ago talked about being in a fraternity, and we've never even discussed that. But you were in a fraternity, and I was in a fraternity, and there's just things that guys go through, whether it's a fraternity or a team or whatever kind of like group setting there is, that we all go through that as we graduate in our lives.
That's true, and I have to tell you a conversation I just had the other day was I talked to my friend about this, my old friend, Sarami. We will never mature. I used to have a thing of when, someday I'll mature.
Yeah.
And I've come up with the conclusion that it's not going to happen. I'll still be the guy that looks at a girl who's walking with short shorts and has a little piece of her rear end coming out, okay? It doesn't matter that I'm a dad of a daughter. That's not going to stop.
Yeah.
And I used to think when someone turned a certain age, they don't look anymore. I remember older men, I'd say, they never have sex. That's disgusting.
But what men do is they curb that thought but as a comic, you
They do?
express. Well, I don't.
I don't have any curve.
Well, you know,
in
like
me,
maybe like you're not going to be in the
unfortunately.
law firm talking about what you're thinking, but as a comic, who you
Yeah,
don't
if
have
he
to
would have opened up and say, "Hey, Craig, nice to meet you. By the way, I really like your wife's tits." They happen to be. Every time she bends over to sign a document, I'm looking.
But men
that might
have
have
that.
been a little inappropriate, but I still would have got a kick out of it.
We have that
That's
telepathic
the real
thing
person.
when a girl walks by or something happens. We don't even have to discuss it. You just know that you're both appreciating. Yet somehow we come off degrading, but we're not yelling or hooting and hollering. But it's just there.
Well, the manifestations change. I guess what you're saying is a guy would go, younger dude would go, "Oh, hey, check it out," and try to get that woman to be his whatever paramour, partner, bang, whatever it is. We have to put that
You're
thought
just
away.
tipping your cap to the.
We then put it into our imaginations.
Yeah.
But it doesn't stop. That's the thing is, I don't
Good.
think it ever will. I mean, when I'm 95, I'm still going to have the same perverted thoughts. I'll have the same wacky thoughts, and all of it's still there. Where people, I think you turn a certain age and you become a parent or a husband, there's a lot of expectations with that of a, quote, maturity. And I don't know that, by the way, anyone call us about this. Did you hit a point in your life where you said, I am now mature?
I was so much more mature early 20s than I am now late 20s. I'm just embracing, like, you know what? I'm kind of like anti-corporate, anti-whatever. Just, hey, my hair is longer now. I'm just like, whatever.
So you think that signifies you being anti-corporate and growing your hair long is a more maturity thing? I'm trying to tell you that I think that it's what I believe it's your thoughts that don't mature. I have another thing that doesn't mature is my walk. I thought for years people would make fun of me. I have that walk. It's a bouncy. You've seen it. You're already giggling.
Well, yeah, because Jared's got it. Your son's got it.
I know. Justin has a little bit,
It's good.
too.
It's a stoic march.
It's not a good march. When you grew up with it, like
when you're
I
coming
did,
out of the minivan.
oh, it's awful. I was made fun of. The worst moment ever in that walk, though, was I was announced. I was all the way. I was always short, so I was at the end of the line. But they were giving awards out. It's one of those awards that everybody gets at the end of the year.
Yeah,
just for playing a sport, right? So the coach announces Craig Shoemaker. And I'm all the way over there, and the entire audience, the whole school starts doing the same song. Because they knew, here comes that walk. Here comes the piston walk where I'm bouncing, and my head enters the room 2 minutes before the rest of my body. And now I'm trying my best not to. And I ended up looking like I needed a telethon because I was making my legs were just, please don't walk like that. Oh, no. And it was torture. So now it got worse because I didn't want the music to go along with my walk, but that's my walk. But I thought my whole life, I'll get rid of this thing. I'm still doing it. Middle-aged man. No one does the music anymore.
Maybe you grew into the walk then.
I never grew into it. It was something I started with, and I still have, and I really do try to. I'll have moments where I'll walk and I'll say heel toe, and I try to be mature about it. Clark has another question for me. Clark, thanks for hanging up on me. I'm just kidding. I know it wasn't you. I know.
I'm coming across Snoqualmie Pass just east of Seattle, and this stupid phone drops every time. So.
Oh,
anyway.
it was you. Okay, I thought it was us. I always blame us for technical difficulties.
No, it was me. Anyway, I had one other question. I wanted to find out: is it the rumors true that you're actually going to try to retire?
I'm not trying to retire. Well, I guess it's a try. I love when people couch something with a try.
Yeah.
Like when I just had this happen yesterday. Someone said, I said, come to my show in Sellersville in a couple weeks or next week in Philadelphia. And he goes, I'll try. I go, what does that mean? It's like I'm dating again? That's what I used to hear from women. I'll try means no, I'm out.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll try. It's one or the other. It's like I am going to do that or I'm not. Or I'm going to make that happen or I'm not. There's no I'll try. So I'm not trying to retire. I am going to retire from stand-up comedy as I do it today. The Love Master's going bye-bye. Barney Fife has always been a favorite. He's going to go bye-bye.
Oh, no.
Yeah, oh, no. I've had the people screaming that, too. I mean, as a matter of fact, I just had a guy contacted me on Facebook. One of my idols, comedy idols, is Harvey Korman from the Carol Burnett Show. Do you know who he is? No, not a clue. Dave doesn't have a clue. Clark knows who
I
he is.
do.
Harvey, of course, Bill does. So Harvey and Tim Conway were staples on Blazing Saddles. He was a big star of Blazing Saddles. Harvey Korman he was an icon in my generation growing up as a kid. Blazing Saddles was like one of those, oh my God, they're farting around a campfire. I mean, that was like a big moment for me when I'm 10. So anyway, Harvey Korman's son contacted me on Facebook. I'm a big fan of yours. I love that Barney Fife. Can't get enough of that. I'm going, well, you're going to have enough of it because he's going bye-bye. I feel kind of bad because there's some people that really dig portions of the act, but it's going to go bye-bye on December 31st, Clark. That'll be it. So you'll see me in April at the Triple Door in Seattle. Will be the final appearance of the Love Master in Seattle.
Yeah, that's not the Space Needle you see right there, baby.
Yeah.
Clark, what's funny is that like I open for Craig on the road and people boo him when he announces. They get boo. They just get angry. The crowd turns on him so quick because they like it so.
After I made them laugh for an hour and 45 minutes, that's when I announce it. It's like towards the end, I go, "You're booing me? How dare you? I just made you laugh. You're gonna boo me for something I'm doing for my family and for my own soul."
Scarcity is a good thing, and it has to. The fact that you're ending it should encourage people to come see it. Go catch a show, watch some live comedy.
By the way, Clark, that's scarcity for you and me. He said scarcity. Yeah. I think that was scarcity. Is that what it meant? Is that what you meant?
Yeah, that's my New England. I call it scarcity.
Oh, you have some accent stuff. That's
the British.
We have to talk about that. It was some scarcity. Hello, Clark. It was a pleasure.
Good day.
Speaking of that, the Carol Burnett show is the only show that my parents would let me stay up late and watch when I was a kid.
Yep. That's exact same here. That was one of those, and you felt like Carol Burnett when she grabbed her ear. You actually thought she was speaking to you. She grabbed her ear, her earlobe, and that was her thing. I'm still looking for my thing that I can end our show on.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Well,
maybe I'll throw a shoe at the camera or something to signify the end, or that I'm connecting with people. Well, thanks, Clark. I'll see you up there. Make sure you say hi.
Oh, believe me, I will. My wife just started a new diet, and she's lost like 15 pounds in 2 weeks. So she's going to be a beauty queen by the time we see you next month. So.
All right. Well, you know that save a couple pounds for me because I'll laugh them off. That's what we do.
Every time I see you, my stomach hurts for days afterwards.
Awesome.
So,
all right. Well,
you're the best. You're the best therapy there is.
I love it, Clark. Man, I love that connection. I appreciate it. I'll make sure you come up after the show, all right? You and your newly thin wife.
I will.
But Love Master will leave her alone. Don't you worry.
Okay.
Yeah, baby.
That's great, Brandon. I just heard there was a guy who went away in the military for a year, and he came back, and his wife lost 100 pounds.
Oh, that's interesting.
I saw it in the news this morning.
Wow.
Can you imagine that? You come back a year later. That's a good.
If it's a good thing. If she started at 130.
She started at
That's not so good. Whoa, you're 30 pounds, honey. I don't know if I'm in acceptance on this.
No, she looks good. Well, maybe we can get a photo.
I'm gonna go back away and send some food home. Apparently, you're gonna have to. So she was heavy set.
Yeah, 230.
That's how you say it if you're mature.
Heavy set.
If you're mature, you say heavy set.
I need to work on that.
And if your age, hey, you fat fuck. Of course, you're from New England, you fat fuck, you fat cocksucker, fucking bastard. I love New England. There's nobody that expresses themselves like that. So, Bill, I wanted to go back to you. When I met you, I'm going to be honest with you. You know I'm a comedian, and I love to find jokes.
Right.
So I said, I saw a picture of you, a video. You sent us a video of basically, he sends a video. I thought that was really cool of basically what to expect when I'm going to meet you, and here's what I do, and here's what we're going to go through for your living trust, and we're going to go through your will, and and all this. And he goes through it, and I said to my business manager and my wife, I go, that's an old video. He can't have that mustache anymore. There's no way he has that mustache.
I like it.
It's right out of Boogie Nights. It's out of Boogie Nights. I said, there's no way he has that mustache anymore. So we then had a bet. We had a bet. You know me and my bets.
Yeah.
I think it was for like $5. Those two, who was it? One of them said he's going to have the mustache. Oh, it was my wife says he'll have the mustache. Or maybe Liz, maybe both of them. And I said, no, there's no way. And he walks in with the mustache. I'm going, so as you're being real serious about my death, I'm slipping at $5.
Well, you probably don't remember, but when you came in,
yeah,
I was intimidated because I do a lot of jokes. in my first interview that I have with people.
Yeah.
And for an attorney, I'm a very funny guy.
Can you hear him, by the way? Can you hear him? Okay, good. So,
And-
so,
and
you're,
so
so
I-
for an
I told
attorney,
you-
you're a funny guy.
For an attorney.
You know what's really funny about that is you guys have no idea what is funny, and now you're making an assessment on what's funny. There's something strange about that. So you, in the attorney world, you're one of the funnier guys.
In the attorney world.
Okay.
And so, but I was intimidated because I knew you were a professional comedian.
Right, yeah, you can't be
And
doing
so
jokes
I
in front of
said,
me.
You know, I don't know if I can do any of these jokes because first off, they're not really that funny.
Oh, so you normally open up with jokes to break the ice.
Yeah.
See how laughter works? That's what most people do.
Yeah.
Even an attorney with a Boogie Nights mustache.
Yeah.
So
He's
you're-
opening
so
up.
you open with a video. That's like your crowd warmer, and then you come jokes to the.
And then he
to the-
walks in
to
and
the
meets
death
you, and you start with a
combo.
joke to make things loose because they're talking about their death.
At
That
an
makes
appropriate
sense.
time.
What's a good? Can you tell a joke?
Here, come up here. Come up here.
come up here
Sit
so the
Our
audience can
audience
see
of
your
one
mustache.
normally doesn't come
Okay.
on. So
All right.
people at home, if you're going to be our audience of one, don't get any ideas.
Dress
that
for
you're
it,
going to
though.
be. Yes, he dressed up for this. Okay, even though you were supposed to be off camera, we're going to let you tell your
Okay.
joke. Okay,
Okay.
go ahead. By the way, look at the mustache.
The cookie duster.
Okay, should I lean into the camera?
The only thing that's different about it's the same stash as in the video, but it's grayer now.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
just-
this is the same stash I had when I was 20 years old. But now it's a lot grayer, you know.
I bet against the stash. I should have known if it's been since 20. It's part of how you're recognized.
Craig, look at this. You know, if I didn't have the mustache, it would go all the way back.
Oh, and I see.
Oh
So
yeah, it's like a barrier there.
It's also a distraction. It's like
Yeah.
don't look at the bald head up top. Look at all this hair I can grow under my lip.
Right.
I can't grow it up on my dome where I
Right.
want it.
Exactly.
And you probably went
Exactly.
bald at an early age. Is kind of your look at an earlier
Now,
age, right?
probably in junior college, about 20 years old.
Went bald?
Yeah, I was going bald.
You know what's great about that? And I talked about this. I saw a piece on Jim Boeheim. He's the coach of Syracuse. And I saw a piece on him. And my son and I were watching it. And there's footage of him from 40 years ago. And he looks the same. And that's the advantage when you go bald earlier. Oh, my God, he never ages, this guy.
It is good symmetry, though.
Your people, exactly. You have the same symmetry as Mr. Drucker from Green Acres. It's the same sort of thing. It's
Yeah.
that hair on the side and then the
If you
bald.
got rid of that, it would throw everything off.
Yeah.
Right,
So
right.
that's why you went with that, and now you will be, to your junior college classmates, you will remain the same, and they're going to be older and
Oh,
bald
yeah.
now.
They used to have to thin it up on top. My grandfather used to give me a haircut, and he'd take out the thinning shears, and he'd cut it, you know, so it was thin, so I could comb it across.
Oh, my God.
At
that's-
like at how old were you?
That would be like age 12.
But you held on to the sides, though. The sides remain very thick and clear. It's a,
Yeah.
but that look is one that you can have the same look your entire. My friend Stanley has the same look his whole
Yeah.
comedy career. He looks exactly the same as when in the 80s. There's very little difference.
Yeah.
So now tell us your joke that you walk in with. So let's pretend Dave and I we're sitting here and we're. Geez, I'm a little nervous. Oh my God, I'm signing my life to my kids, and and how much does my ex get? And okay, so now you walk in and you see that. Hi, nice to meet you. Hey, good to meet you. Okay, now what do you say?
Well, a lot of times you gotta wait for the appropriate time, obviously.
Okay, we know
But
that.
if I get somebody who comes in and he's bald, and the husband's always the most nervous when they
Okay,
come in.
yeah.
You tell them a joke and you say, probably the best joke in that situation is you tell them. Now there's an old story that if you're bald in back, you're a great thinker.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, if you're bald in front, you're a great lover. But if you're bald and back and front, you think you're a great lover.
All right, okay.
You know what? I like that. I'm glad you didn't open out with that with me. I would have liked that as a professional comedian. I would have liked the joke, but I wouldn't have liked it if it was about me because I want to go. Really, I'm that bald?
Yeah.
He can use me as a reference on the bald jokes. So you would use that now. What was your opening joke like with me, or didn't you bother?
You just kind of got to wait for the right moment.
Yeah.
Because there's different things that you can do.
Well, let's set this up. This is the right moment. So now what would you say to just clients with a nice head of hair? Dave and I are a gay couple. Look at what I got here. He's got a great head of hair. He's got a beard. So we're a gay couple coming to you. And I come to you and I say, hey, hi. Nice to meet you. So now what do you do?
Well, the joke you get a lot with people. Who have
No,
a lot of money-
Bill. I'm going to
Right
help
now?
you out here. Here's what
Okay.
you do.
All right.
I set it up. Now you just have us here.
the two? Gay couple?
It's a gay couple. We walk into you. The first thing you say is,
I don't have any jokes right now.
You shouldn't have jokes. You're an attorney.
Well, you definitely would have eyed us up. You would have, first of all, you wouldn't have started with a gay joke. We can eliminate that. There's no hair jokes. So what do you come at us with? What are you going to do to break the ice with us? Honey, I'm so nervous.
Talk about on the spot.
Come on now. Oh, so what do you do?
Now, just a standard joke?
Yeah, yes, just give us what you do.
What happens a lot of times is couples come in.
Don't tell me what happens. Give me the joke.
All right. The joke is we go through, we figure out the distribution. Okay, you're going to have this much money go here, and everything goes to him, everything goes to you.
Okay.
And then they figure out, well, what happens if everybody dies? And that's always a real morbid moment.
Yeah.
It's like, you die, everybody you know dies. I say, well, everybody dies, it goes to me.
I like that story. Yeah.
Thank you. You can go back to your audience of one seat.
Okay, good.
I thought that was wonderful, Bill. Bill Weiss.
Good, yeah.
Spelled with an A.
Look at that. Your
Not the
audience
Bill,
one.
but the Weiss.
Audience of one pitching jokes. I like that.
Well, let's not set a precedence, because then every audience of one we have.
I'm in the Joel spot. Where did my green screen? There we go.
Oh, geez.
I'm in the Joel spot. Sarah's empty.
Oh, should we talk about that?
Well, we start off the
Should we
show.
talk
Everyone
about that?
looks
I
all...
thought we'd done very well with our considering the vibe, and I'm a vibe guy, an energy guy.
But that's how vibes go. It's a push and pull. You're here with your...
I had to do a lot of breathing, because what happened minutes before the air is Sarah and Joel walked.
Yeah.
Come on, where's the music for that? Well, we gotta have something.
Joel's like
He's like the Al-Anon
but this way, like
alcoholics.
with me and my mom and my sister, I'm always. That's why I do comedy. I was always in between my mom and my sister fighting.
The Al-Anon. It's called.
Yeah.
They call that because you have to sort of be the peacemaker and the logical one. It's like, it's okay. I play that role too. That's why you and I identify with one another.
And Joel here knows that probably Sarah needs him more than you do in this moment, whatever that conversation is.
Now, in this role that I played is one that I love to talk about. Is I'm very uncomfortable with it. We talked about maturity. I have matured into a guy that people make into dad, answer guy, boss, and all of that. So I have to tell you, this role is extremely uncomfortable for me. But the other side of that is I created that role.
Yeah.
I made this role, and I guess I'm obviously a real dad, but I'm also...
in some ways, you also, even if it was uncomfortable for you, you probably enjoy the positive outcomes of helping people.
True.
But now you have to deal with when you can't necessarily help people.
Very good point. And which happened with Sarah earlier. So I guess were you here for any of the conversation?
I stayed as far away as I could.
Oh yeah. Oh, you were playing it like you were when you were a kid.
Yeah.
I feel something going on in here.
Get some water or something.
Oh my God, my sister and mother are fighting, and I'm gonna get involved. I'm gonna go get some soda.
She told me she was taking the day off. That's
Huh?
when I saw her on the
Oh,
way
you
out.
only saw the results.
Yeah.
You didn't see why she was.
Sarah's
taking the
very
day
much
off.
like my sister too.
Oh.
Very much.
Okay.
In a way where like
So
I
you
want to
recognize that.
And I don't mean that in a bad way, but like I'll talk to her when whatever's dust needs to settle.
Yeah.
And see
Whereas
what
as
happens.
opposed to me, where I press.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's where it went.
Is that where it went?
I think so. I mean, there was a little bit of.
And we didn't record on it either.
No, we should have been recording this one. This was like, so I came in and again, we used to have a thing on our show called Clear the Space, and Sarah and I used to do it all the time. You just clear the space, and it's a wonderful mechanism, I think, where you just say, hey, there's something in this space that needs to be out of this. Like a resentment or some thought that's alternative to good connection, whatever it is, you just get it out there. It's cathartic and so on. That's kind of the way I exist.
It's healthy.
But everyone's not always in that place where they can do that in the moment. And she, I believe, was not in that time.
Yeah.
So basically, I walked in and I already saw something brewing. You always can. With not only her, but I can with most people. Unfortunately, I also have that with me. The maturity comes
Knowing
instinct.
when women are not.
Well, yeah, women and I guess you're
men
right.
want to fix things.
I guess
women
you're
want
right.
to just share.
Yeah.
So maybe did she not? Did she want a result or?
Well, there was a little bit of there's and any time you mix business and money, so there's so here is it's funny she said about the fix thing. So Sarah has an issue with her car, and somebody else came up with she said, maybe I'll bring it up on the air, and somebody else said, maybe it was you, said, hey, do a crowdfunding or whatever it was. She needs to fix her car. She got half the money from a friend, and now she's in this situation. So I hear that, and I also know that she's not looking at me, so I know that I'm involved in this resentment.
Yeah.
Because, and then she let it out. She goes, you promised me these things. I've been doing all this, the podcast. And then the other side of her would say, I understand, though, the podcasts don't make money. And then, by the way, you can go on our banner and go to Amazon.com and really help us with the situation. But podcasts don't make a lot. So it was like a little mixture of all that. But I tried to say, hey, I think I know what you can do.
Yeah.
I think I know what you can do. I have a solution. But what you're saying, and I agree with you now in retrospect, is women don't want to fix.
And that doesn't make you wrong for offering a solution. It's just like we have to. It's like, honey, you could just work more.
Yeah, you need to go back and hang with your mom and your sister a little more and figure out that one. Oh no, you're wrong. You're way wrong. And there ain't no right in that moment.
What, you have to just explain. You have
there
to
was
repeat
nothing I was
going
to say from that point forward. From the moment I said I'm going to help this.
And I love that you're locked in this soundproof room. It's like the worst place to have.
We're in a soundproof room. About to go on a comedy show.
11:58.
It was 11:58. Literally, she's putting on her makeup, getting ready for the show. Of which I wanted to fix something else. She had a little scar up here. I didn't want to say that too. I didn't want to, but she had a mark on her forehead. I was about to say, by the way, in addition to these issues that you're having, you might want to put some makeup on that too, because I know you're going on the air right now. I didn't want to do that. That would be a pile on, and you don't want to do that. And I think, not to be sexist, but I do think that you are correct that women definitely have more of the, like I actually had a very similar conversation with you and Mike and Stefan and then Joel on the way in. I said something like, hey guys, I really want you to take your own power and empower you to, bring something to the show that you can own it. Okay, you can own it. I was about to say that to her.
Yeah.
I was about to say, I know how you can get some of this money is take some ownership and also like, here's how you can also make the show better by promoting it. And I was going to offer these suggestions. Never got there.
Yeah.
Because I said to her, the first thing I said, because I felt that anger, and I said, do you have space to talk about this? And she just looks down, and then all of a sudden she goes, yeah. Which ironically is no space to talk about. Plus, I should have ended it right there. I should have recognized that. That's my error. So, Mr. Go For It, I go, are you sure? And then that challenged her. So now she's even more angry. Yeah, basically, asshole. And now, what do you have to say? Whenever you say it, what do you have to say? If that's the undertone, whatever I say is not going to come out correctly anyway.
No.
So now I'm into, okay, now we got to try it. And it reminds me of conversations I've had with, former spouse and ex, whatever, females, my mom, sister, whatever it is. It reminded me of those conversations is no matter what now is going to come out of my mouth or actions that take place, I should listen to her when she says, basically, shut up, I'm not going to talk about this right now.
Yeah.
Then I will tell you the non-mature guy, she did say that and shut me down. And I was basically very, very peaceful and honest. And she goes, this is the way you are. And, she's one of those. And I go, oh, now here we go. I said, this is what's underlying. That's the underlying current. You can't have a conversation if that's the current. If I've called it daddy before, whatever it is, if you have these ideas that I'm trying to manipulate, she used that word, control, use that word. If you think that that's what I'm doing, then there's no good that's going to come out of this.
There's just a language.
There's no good that's going to come out of it for her solution for what she's dealing with. And now it's add another pile to it. It's not going to do any good for our relationship, of which we've had one for 2 years on the air.
Right.
It's not going to do any good because if you hold those ideas, it's just and can't get past them or can't work through them or be accountable for them, then I don't know how far you can go.
Was this conversation better than her just gritting her teeth and being fake, like everything's fine? Or because you wanted it will get to the solution, but it just wasn't going to happen.
Maybe.
Right? I mean, we're outside. This is a soundproof room.
She could do
it. We're
it.
hearing this conversation outside.
You could hear it.
Yeah, well, we can muffled, kind of like the female voice travels a little farther. It traveled than your voice.
Okay, and what did you hear? You heard.
I heard what I
just said,
it wasn't going well. We were reaching for the life jackets. We were like, okay, trying to part the hair back and get on camera now.
But my mature self, though, we talked about, this is the theme that we have here, is the mature self was saying to myself during this conversation, I said, hang in there. What she says is not personal, which is very difficult. That's the thing that I want your generation to get, or even my kids, or anybody younger, or even my age. I don't know who I'm addressing this to, but I believe that in any communication, you have to respect the other person and try to take out your past ideas and projections. And then it can lead to so much more promise. Because once that, and that's what I was trying to establish, basically. I was going, can we get rid of this?
And feel like you're talking to yourself because we're all kind of connected and showing each other our flaws.
Yeah.
And that's the hard part. Ego, my generation, I don't know about yours, maybe you guys had the same problem, but ego's tough. It's tough for us to communicate. We come from a generation where our parents didn't teach us well, and not to place blame on others, but like, my generation, that Catholic, tight-lipped, it was just
let's
tough.
take the Catholic. Let's just keep with your generation.
My generation, yeah. It's just we can deal with each other's problems. I think we're very communal. My generation's not getting married at the same rates. We're just sticking together in our social groups. We're social media.
Now, be honest with me. I believe that you guys, you can tell me the truth, have an attitude towards our generation is basically like you don't know what you're talking about. You're a bunch of idiots. I really think that's what you guys have.
I could see that, but
I'm asking you. Do you really think that that's prevalent?
I can only speak for myself.
We know more than you.
I can only speak for myself, and there's a little bit of an envy when we know, like my stepdad, he was like, Dave, I don't get it. I had my first house at 19, and I'm like, people aren't buying houses like that anymore. Like, we're trying to prove something different. Our American dream is different than our parents' generation. So what we're trying to prove, we're self-actualizing, we're entrepreneurial, we're all these things, but what we're not is, we're not the 9-to-5ers with a sit-down job and the family. For the most part, we're getting away from that. I appreciate my parents and you and whatever, because you're not a 9-to-5er, but you've made this life around you.
When we share our wisdom, there's part of you that you're going, that's not so wise, because that doesn't work for me.
I think
what you're saying?
I think we don't take it right away, but we hear it and we put it in our pocket. So wherever she's going right now.
Even my kids, it's that way.
Yeah, it's kind of like with Justin. I'm sure he's at that age, 15, right? He's at that age where he's like, you just don't understand. And then when he has a moment, he's like, all right, I'm going to digest that.
Yeah, and he gives it back to me now and then, by the way.
Yeah.
Just the other day, because, I really respect that about you. So it was something where I was being, he really digs when I'm accountable. Like, I had a real big moment the other day where I said, there was a few people not getting back to me, which is another thing your generation does.
Yeah.
It drives me nuts.
It doesn't do.
Well, yeah, they don't get back to you when you want to get back to you. But I will tell you that every single reason that the people weren't getting back were completely legitimate reasons. But with the immature guy that I run with, these are all reasons that are against me.
Ego.
Yes, exactly. So, but let me tell you what happened was I did come up with, oh my God, even if they do call back and everything's great, the only reason for my anxiousness is things that I have not done well. It's things that I have created this toxic potion that's in the air. Mm-hmm. And you know what one of them was? I'll be honest with you, gossip. I have to shut my mouth with gossip. I have to stop myself.
Gossip within your
anywhere. There's this one example was this one person wasn't getting back to me, and I went, oh my God. You ever have one of those conversations you go, listen, swear to me you're not going to tell.
Yeah.
Okay. Anytime you start your conversation with swear to me you're not going to tell. You are now about to gossip.
Yeah.
And there's a very good chance they're going to tell.
Yeah.
So I went with, they're not getting back to me with, they got together and they figured out I'm the bad guy. And it all went in my mind. Oh my God. And then she gets back to me and she goes, oh, I've been out of the country. Oh, didn't think of that one. I didn't think of the out of the country. Couldn't get back. I go, oh my God, I gotta. But then what it told me was, cease the gossip. You have to do your best, Craig.
Yeah.
And don't gossip.
And by gossiping, you're putting it out there. Like, what's your FEAR acronym?
False evidence appearing real.
So
it appears to be very real, but it's really false evidence that you build up in your own mind.
It's almost like
I did with this. I was frightened that they weren't getting back to me for these reasons. It was all false evidence.
Yeah.
That was a perfect way to bring that up.
We all have it.
You're right.
I've gotten sick over fear. Relationship-wise.
Yeah.
Like, when my generation, which might be different than you, our generation is when we'll send out love to a girl we like, and then we won't get a text back. And then all of a sudden, they're on the other coast, and it's 10 p.m. their time. And you just imagine that jock that you're jealous of that's just having sex with you. You imagine the worst case scenario. And then come to find out, oh, babe, I just passed out. I was watching Cosmo on Hulu. And I'm and all of a sudden, like, whoo, I'm an idiot. But that's our fear.
Like, but how did you manifest that though? And that's what I was talking to Sarah about. As I was talking about what you're manifesting in the world of law of attraction, this might sound woo-woo to a lot of people, but one of my goals in life is I really want to build a bridge from the woo-woo people to the ha-ha people.
And my generation's listening. We're listening to this.
I hope so, but there are a lot of people that tune out. And this goes back to what Clark was talking about. He wanted there more pictures of your kid. So the thoughts that I go through is I don't want too much of anything, including the woo-woo talk, because people tune out on the woo-woo talk.
Right.
I've actually had people go, I don't tune in for that. Well, what do you tune in for?
Yeah, what do they want? Some mediocre life where they're not trying to enlighten themselves?
A lot of people they tune into. I just see so many people that are doing podcasts. It's basically a fraternity. It's a bunch of dudes, and they're talking about pussy and whatever it is, and they don't really want to wander into okay. Why are you lighting up another bowl? You know what I mean? It's like they don't want to talk about that. Yeah. And if they hear me talk about it, then they think you're pontificating and all that kind of stuff. So that is part of the process as an artist for me. Is I don't want to do too much of anything to make people go away. I do want to invite them in these conversations, like we're having. It's a conversation. It's the one I wanted to have with Sarah. Was just a conversation. Let's open this up to a kind of an alternative way of the way it's being approached. And, I don't want to get into what she's thinking or what she's doing, but I think that she's approaching this whole car thing with limited thinking. And that's why there's limited funds to pay for this car.
Because in the end, it's the smallest problem in a world of bigger things.
In a world of bigger things. And I'm trying to come from the wise guy. She thinks it's a controlling, manipulative guy. And I, by the way, have no idea what that means. Mm-hmm. I know that she throws out words like passive-aggressive, controlling, manipulative, and stuff like that. But I have no idea what that really means because what am I manipulating? I don't have any vested interest in this except for you're my friend who I love. By the way, I love Sarah.
Yeah, we all love her.
Immensely. No, I mean, I really love Sarah. Immensely. I have tremendous respect for her. But the part of me was just going, enough with this making me into control, manipulation. No, I just care about you. And I'm trying to offer like a little suggestion of something that I've experienced. It's not something I'm coming from an opinion. I've experienced poverty and where's my next check coming from? Oh my God, if this isn't cured. I've looked at old diaries, diaries and journals. You ever look at some of them? Oh my God, this was the biggest thing in the world to me at that time. Yeah. If this wasn't taken care of at that moment, I couldn't live another day. And then you're looking at it in the future and you're going, I don't even know who that is. Who the hell is that?
And you don't focus on the opportunity and the abundance when you're so focused on the scarcity.
That's what you're telling the universe. You're telling the universe that you're bringing in lack and limitation, as opposed to what I was attempting to do in the conversation. Now, here's the thing that's added to the mix in this is I'm also somewhat of a, quote, boss, somewhat of a guy, quote, in charge, somewhat of a guy who, quote, has the money to help her. And I have in the past and, where I can. But I'm feeding kids and ex-wives and everything else. And I've got a lot of responsibility and I don't have money. Yeah. I shouldn't say that to the universe either.
Right.
I don't have the funds. The first instinct I had when I walked in this room is, oh my God, I'm writing her a check for the rest of the money. That was my first instinct.
Yeah.
Then when she dissed me, I went, fuck her. No, I'm kidding, but I'm not. I'm kidding, but I mean, Angela, do you relate to any of this about the generational? Do you have an attitude at all of or a feeling that people like my age, it's like, they're going to die someday. They don't really have much to say that can affect my life. Or do you look at people like me or somebody like me and say, hey, I might be able to learn from them?
I have a large respect for the older generation. My parents had me when they were older, so...
Oh, really?
My parents had me when they were 35.
Oh, God.
I'm an only child.
That's not the age I was hoping he was going to say. Since I just had a baby, we have a new baby, and it's I'm a few years past 35. But anyway, so you were saying you kind of come with that respect because those were your parents right away, older parents. Is that what you're saying?
I was raised by a much older generation. I have a lot more respect for the older generation. I always associated more with the older crowd. When I was 16, by the time I was 18, I had no friends that were under 25 to 30 years old.
Would you say you're an old soul? A lot of old soul people hang out with older people.
Absolutely. At 16, I was already hanging out at the Viper Room and all the 21 Over clubs because no fake ID. I just had enough respect to give my real ID and be an actual fucking adult about it. And they
And
saw
So
that.
you gave your basic Boy Scout ID or whatever, and you
my
go,
driver's
here, I'm a
license.
Weeblo or whatever it was, and,
No, I got
and
my
they
driver's
said,
license
boy,
at
this kid's
16.
got balls, I'll let him in.
No, I had my license at 16. I got my license right when I was old enough to get my license.
Yeah, same here, yeah.
I like I said, raised by an older generation
Right.
where they were on top of that. all
Oh
the
yeah,
time.
that's a good point. The responsible thing of my son is about to turn. It's permit time, and of course he's taking care of. He'll say, "I got my permit." What that means is, I want to get my permit, but there's paperwork, and I'm not going to do it. I want my parents to do it. That's what he's saying. The underlying message is, where you're saying,
If
our
I
generation
ever had an attitude like that, my dad would have smacked me across the back of my head.
Well, yeah.
No,
So
never abusive. Always just a single smack and be like, "Get your head straight."
Yeah, your phone's ringing, by the way. Stefan, you on top
Well,
of
the
that there?
thing, Angelo, here's the one fault I'll say of your generation is you, like, when you're older, you want to teach the younger people, and so we don't want to listen, but we are listening. But you know, my mom she'll give me all this crazy advice, and I take probably 25% of it, but she just sees that I reject 75% of it. So it's not that we're not taking it so much as like we're just not maybe the pride exists where we want to be like, hey, we can live on our own, we can do this. My mom's like, do you need help with your student loans? Yes, I do. Am I going to let her help me? No. I got like.
Oh, I would have loved if somebody helped me.
Got
Oh
a
my
therapist
God.
on the line that has something to say about this topic, I guess.
Oh, it's a real therapist?
Oh wow.
Another Anthony? There's too many Anthonys in my life. Is this another Anthony? Hi, Anthony. Hello? I love that.
Hello?
I don't know why I'm seeing the rapist.
I am too.
It's just because it's all in caps, it just looks like the
Therapist.
rapist. But it says therapist. Hi, Anthony.
It's a very old joke.
I know that. I know. But
rapist.
I'm looking at it, and it really does look like, because it's in all caps, it really does look like the rapist. So, Anthony, you're an actual therapist, and you have something to add to this conversation.
I do. I'm a therapist. I'm on lunch break, and I'm a fan of you. But I have noticed something when I listen to your show that happens regularly, that you are someone who has really embraced your life now, your sobriety, your ability to see the choices that you made and what you learned from them.
Mm-hmm.
I think that you actually make up a part of your content is based in that. Would you say that?
Yeah. Now I have to tell you something. When you said that, I did not think that a more or less of a good assessment was going to come.
Yeah, you got nervous.
He used
Craig got
the word. You
nervous.
saw. He used the word
Oh,
but.
No.
He's
That's not about me at all.
No, you used the word but, and I went, oh, God, here he goes. Oh, my God. But you know what, Craig? I think that you're completely at fault here. The way you treat people, my God, Sarah should have walked out of that room 2 years ago. That's what I heard him say.
I could feel that.
But Anthony, I'm kidding, but I'm not. Anyway, so, Anthony, so that is something that, it's funny you would say that at this very moment. The second I saw the phone ringing, what I was about to say to Dave is, the advice I was going to give you on advice is, when somebody gives it, have they experienced
Yeah, it
this
comes with a
before?
case study
If,
normally.
if they share their experience on something, then it's so much more grounded and real for you that you can use, because you go, oh, someone else treaded that.
Yeah, rather
those
than
waters
saying don't
before.
smoke weed, you're saying, look, this is what happened to me.
I can't do that. I can't do that.
You can
Well, I
only-
can say
But
this is
the
what
thing
happened to
that
me.
you're forgetting, I'm sorry to interrupt. The thing that you're forgetting is, and I don't know the story about Sarah. I just signed on, so I don't know. Did she leave the show or something like that?
Right before we went on, she, I don't know if it's a 1 day sabbatical or if it'll be permanent. I don't know. Yeah, we had a conversation before we went on the air, and it was basically me kind of like trying to offer some solution and, assistance for somebody I care about because of this financial situation. And it turned into, it kind of blew up, and she basically said you're manipulative and controlling and all that kind of stuff. But anyway, I gave you the cliff notes. So what were you about to say?
Okay, so what I've noticed about the show, and again, this is something that it's not only you and your family of people there. This is every relationship, every conversation, every boss and their employees, every husband and wife. It's the same conversation over and over again. But in order for you to be able to reach Sarah, you have to be able to value how Sarah views the world.
Mm-hmm.
And Sarah has to be able to value how you view the world.
Right.
So the difference in age is one thing, but it's also she's viewing you and how she thinks how things are supposed to go. So it could be advice about show business career. It could be advice about relationships. It could be advice about, anything. But there is a tone that you take that is coming from a place of, listen, I've done this. I've lived it. I know it. But what comes out to someone like her who has not yet lived that choice is that you're telling her what to expect.
Or how to do it.
Or how to do it, as opposed to saying something like, in my experience, when something like this happens, here are the 3 options that you may expect. I'll support you however they go.
Well, yeah, actually, that is what I did say.
Okay, so you're good there. But what I'm saying in general.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of. As a matter of fact, it's funny you said. I just said that with Dave. Now I said is if you're going to listen to someone, if it's their experience, if they're sharing their experience, but I think that sometimes, but I completely value what you're saying as well. Is there needs to be that initial respect? Is I need to see whatever's coming out of her is this is, someone that I respect and I can honor whatever is coming out, and I don't put onto her this thought that she's looking at me like daddy and all of those things, because that's what's going to manifest, and that's what did happen in the conversation.
And if Craig cuts her the check, it just puts a Band-Aid on any issue. Like that's not teaching her how to fish, right? That's like he can't help her.
For sure, but the issue is it's not so much about a daddy thing. Like think about how, and again, this is all easy, beautiful conversation. There's no judgment at all. But if you think about how you are in the world, and I'm someone who is a fan of your work from a long time ago, so I know where you are, what you're about to get rid of. You're embracing another part of your life. You're done with the road. You just had a child. You want to stay home. You want to find out other ways to earn for yourself while you're still doing the thing that you need to do, which is make people laugh. I understand that. But you're also talking to someone in Sarah who's at the beginning of that road.
Sure, absolutely, yeah.
And so her experience of you, can you imagine hearing someone from your point of view saying, I'm giving up Barney Fife, or I'm giving up that? To them, that's going to land differently, let alone story of how you live your life or your ex-wife or whatever. Very often I feel like what you want to do is you reach your guests or the people that work with you in your family as a look, I've been through this with my wife, and I'm going to stay positive. I'm going to be on the other side, and I really want you to have this. That's a beautiful intention, but it can also come across to them as you're going to do what I'm telling you to do, as opposed to, wow, I have been through the ringer, and then if you ever go through anything like this at all, I'm there for you, because believe me, I have learned.
Well, let me ask you a question related to that. Is I do have this, and completely relate to what you're saying. I have this also with my children. Here's the rub, Anthony, and I appreciate everything that you're saying. Here's the rub: is you have, let's say, my children. Let's just stick with them. I understand through my experience how much pain can be had by taking certain paths and roads and being dishonest, for instance. And I know where that can lead. It's a temporary fix of, okay, I'll get over on this one. But they always say cheaters never prosper. I'm going, and I used to say to myself, that's bullshit. Because actually, oh yes, they do, because I just made more money than they did because I cheated. But so the problem that I have is knowing those things. There's this whole letting go and let them be resilient and find their own pain and their own path in life, and what I am supposed to protect them from. That is the line that is constantly blurred on how much I do A, share, or B, get involved, or with anyone, let alone a friend like Sarah, is, do I, like you were just saying, I could cut her a check maybe, and that would be a Band-Aid. So, but then there's something between that, which was where I was trying to go.
She feels like it's charity.
But then there's the between that where I was trying to give suggestions on, hey, as your friend, I can kind of see something you might have a blinder on for. So that's what I'm saying, Anthony, is like, where do you let go, and when do you kind of offer strong suggestions or experience to them that they might learn from?
Okay, I'm going to say something that I don't want you to be offended by, but I'm preparing you for it by telling you that. Ready?
Yeah.
You need to be a better listener.
Uh-huh.
And this isn't addressed to you only. This is addressed to anyone in this situation. If Sarah or anyone is filled with that much nervousness, fear, anger, resentment, anxiety, there's some small little conversation, and that is energy that you can hear by listening.
Mm-hmm.
That would not be the time to then offer her suggestions, because what that also means is that could be sourced by your energy from a point of view of guilt about the amount of money that's being raised so far, or whatever it is. In other words, you two are too close in that situation, let alone as friends on the planet, to be able to offer each other something that you're both going to be able to share. So if you listen differently, maybe better wasn't the way to say it. You need to listen differently to how the person is responding. If you're on a job interview and the person is twiddling their thumbs and they're nervous, you're not going to hire that person. You want the confident person, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you're on your first date and the person is checking their cell phone, they're nervous, so you're going to have to work harder to get their attention. How you listen to someone else helps you, and it's just like being a parent. So it's almost as if your ability to share, or your desire to share, and again, I should say our ability to share, our desire to share as people, sometimes prevents us from hearing, well, how much does that person want to hear? You know, my mother used to hear my father say, turn that rock and roll off. Turn off that rock and roll. It's too loud, I don't like it. And my mother would say, you know, when your father's around the house, why don't you play more of the West Side Story stuff? Why don't you play something that you like, because it's cool Broadway music with Leonard Bernstein, but it's also stuff that's not going to piss your father off.
Mm-hmm.
It was the way that she listened that I really think is really essential. So ultimately, I think your intentions are so good, but sometimes your good intentions can be sourcing someone with, hey, look, here's some information that I have that you can use.
Mm-hmm.
And that person's point of view could be, I didn't ask you for that.
Sure.
Or they may not even know that they're asking for it because of the generation difference.
Right.
So really, the best thing that you can do is not write her a check. The best thing you can do is let her breathe and figure it out on her own. And of course you'll talk again. It's not the end. It's just actually a beginning of what your relationship will now be from now on. Clearly there's some unresolved.
I listened to Anthony for 12 minutes now, by the way.
I know, Anthony, you got our attention.
Well, I hope I'm not offending anybody. It's just, as I said, I'm such a fan. But
No, Anthony, you don't.
Show.
Yeah, you don't have to, qualify or. I listen. That's part of who I am and who this show is there's an availability and an openness to explore. That's the whole idea. And this goes for creativity, and I talked to you about this as well, Dave, because Dave's an up-and-coming comic. Is exploring every region is really key, including me exploring that region. I said a few minutes ago how I'm exploring the region of gossip and how I made that happen and made that fear and that angst. I made that happen, and I'm responsible for that. I'm also responsible for lack of listening as well. And, so I needed that, but I do need to take a break. So I have listened to you, but there are things that we need to do at our show, Anthony.
Of course. Well, it was my pleasure speaking with you.
Where do you live? Where do you live?
Sure.
Where do you live?
I'm in Los Angeles. My practice is right in Los Angeles.
What kind of therapy do you do?
We have to go to a break.
It's couples therapy.
Oh, couples therapy.
Oh, where were you a few years ago when I was married to Dave's aunt? All right, Anthony, I appreciate it. We do have to take a break. You keep on listening and participating in the show. I love stuff like that. Yes, of course it's scary. Whenever you're analyzed or scrutinized, vilified, or whatever. But then the irony is, look at the business I'm in.
Yeah.
You know, I'm asking for that every day.
Yeah. I love that it just says therapist, and we're like all ears, just like we don't even know who this guy is. Yeah. But that was good advice, right? You think that was good advice?
He might have been actually hired by Sarah.
Is that you, Sarah?
I think he might have been. I think he might have been the whole couples therapy. Yeah,
They're
right.
outside.
Right. He's reading a book. She's in his ear going, tell him this. Tell him he's not a good listener. He really make a good space for me. Anyway, and by the way, Christina Cha is coming in.
Yeah.
She was on a show with me, and we met, and then she told me she was a finalist in Survivor. I find that fascinating. I'm going to do plenty of listening.
Yeah.
When we talked to Christina Cha is coming up, she was on Samoa last year. She was on Samoa and on the show Survivor Samoa. And I really want to hear about what goes on. She didn't take the track of, we'll get back to it. We're going to take a little break and all that, and we'll see you in a little bit. Just a little bit.
All right, 5-minute break.
Complete system of products designed to make losing weight easy and pleasant. It's called System LS.
All right.
Okay? System LS products are natural and organic. Another thing we discuss in the book is go organic. Go things that are made from the earth. And that's what's great. And now you feel lighter and more energized throughout your day because you're eating something that doesn't have chemicals in it that take you down, that have the addictive qualities. This is not even part of my copy. They have addictive qualities in them. And that's why we eat more, because they do that. They put, I don't know what they put in there. Let me get back to the read.
Addictive qualities.
Yes.
They put in there.
Something cracky. I swear.
It
Girl
is in
Scout
the same-
cookies, Girl Scout cookies. You cannot tell me there's not something in a Girl Scout cookie. I know that girls don't know this, but they're dealers. I'm telling you, I go through a sleeve of those like, Angelo, you with me on Girl Scout cookies? No, you're not. Not doesn't do it for you. Okay, they do it for me, but I have switched now to System LS. They carry all kinds of products. Instead of eating those cookies, you have protein bars. We tasted one last week.
So good.
Sarah will give you the testimony on that. You get 24/7 support. Who ever heard of that? Okay, so it's like you have.
Yeah, you have a support team to call.
You have
you can make
Overeaters Anonymous sponsor
danger
without being an
calls.
Overeaters Anonymous.
It's
You
like
could-
the suicide hotline.
Yes, I'm about to eat something really bad. And they give you motivation and coaching, access to a special mobile app. How crazy is that?
That's amazing.
Visit systemls.com. Put in our offer code and you get 10% off the products. Our offer code is SHOE10. That's shoe like you put on your feet, and the number 10 like I'm sitting next to.
Hey, good one.
Holla.
I appreciate it.
Do I have segues?
Yeah.
So do that for yourself and do it for us, and you'll help our show. And that's it, System LS. I'm on the shakes. Hey guys, Craig Shoemaker, CraigShoemakerShow.com. Laugh it off. I am here to talk to you about Amazon Prime. Amazon Prime offers thousands of free streaming movies and free 2-day shipping on anything you order from Amazon.com. Now, for a limited time, you can try Amazon Prime absolutely free for 30 days through our website. You go to our website. You visit CraigShoemakerShow.com and click on the Downtown Abbey banner. That's the Downtown Abbey banner, as opposed to all of the other banners we have up. I think it might be the only one. You can start your 30-day trial. It's that easy, okay? That's how simple it is. Even a tech fool like me can do this. You get to try something risk-free and support our show at the same time. I know you want to support our show because it's free, okay? So this is a way that you can benefit and just give us a little hand. that money that Sarah just made and Joel just made came from my pocket. You don't want that to be the case anymore, so give us a little hand. Doing this show you love the Craig Shoemaker Show. Help us out. You can even stream those same movies instantly on your tablet, game consoles, smart TVs, and Smerry. You can do that by just going to there. Don't forget, if you happen to miss this offer, be sure to check back on our site regularly. I never like that word. Let's take that word out of our script. Regularly. You think I have a big agent. I hope they're not listening right now. And we'll have more deals for you in the future. Remember, CraigShoemakerShow.com. Click the banner, and you get to save and also have a 100% free trial. Now, I got to do this, by the way. Somebody write this down for me. Thank you so much for your support. More of the Craig Shoemaker Show coming right up. Hey, we're back. Oh, look who.
Hey.
You're actually under your real name.
I'm under my name for once.
Hey, Joel,
and my name's
have you
spelled
used
right.
Squarespace yet?
I haven't yet. I've gone to their site, and it's beautiful, and I want to use it.
Well, let me tell you how you can use it.
Yeah.
This episode is actually brought to you by
Squarespace.
Matter of fact, you read the first part because I want to chew on this.
Oh, okay.
I had onions.
Squarespace, the all-in-one platform that makes it fast and easy to create your own professional website or online portfolio.
You create your own, yes.
Create your own, which is cool. You can do it right from your mobile phone. Like, you can create a website right from your iPhone.
Sure.
It's pretty amazing, yeah.
Through
Or at least a
Squarespace?
mobile site, yeah.
Now, do you have a website, joelgeist.com?
I stopped paying for it, and some bad people stole it.
Well, good. This might be the opportunity. They have designed, Squarespace is constantly improving their platform with new features, Joel.
New features?
And they design better support.
It's true.
It's like 24/7. It's simple and it's helpful. Squarespace is already easy to use, and so you can go get your domain and you can work your own thing and you design it the way you want it. They have help 24/7, 7 days a week. Good prices. Starts at only $8 a month. Even
$8.
you, Joel, who are as broke as Sarah.
Maybe more.
We'll get back to that. Even you can afford that $8 a month. You get a domain name if you sign up for a whole year, or you start a trial with no credit card needed. Also appeals to you.
That is appealing.
Okay.
I hate when they make you put your credit card in for free stuff.
Here's the offer code that you get. You don't even have to be a co-host of the show for this. Anyone can have this. There's an offer code. Laugh It Off. Laugh It Off, the name of our show from 2 years ago we started here. Right, Joel?
That's right.
10% off your first purchase. Thank you, Squarespace, for supporting the Craig Shoemaker Show and Sarah Sweet. Get her a new car. Squarespace. Everything you need to create an exceptional website. Everything. There you go.
Boop, boop.
I actually started 3.
3 new websites?
3 new websites.
Did you do them yourself, or did you have someone?
Oh, you know.
You know.
Thanks for calling me out on that one. I know it's simple and easy.
It's so easy.
If they told
your
me
assistant can do it.
It was Etch-a-Sketch, I wouldn't be able to do it. I
Yeah.
mean, I always need
It would
help.
be hard to build a website with an Etch-a-Sketch.
You know, when I was a kid, I thought when I studied typing with this woman, and she would just recite the home keys, and she had a southern accent. She would go A-S-D-F-J-K-L semicolon. And she would do it time and time, A-S-G-F, and she would do it time and time again. I'm just in here because the hottest chicks are in this class. So I didn't pay attention. I kept saying to myself, I'll be so rich, I'll have people type for me. Well, it's kind of the same thing with websites.
Yeah.
Is I'm not rich, but I do want people to assist me. But even with Squarespace, though, it is kind of easier.
I never thought
It's
about
a lot easier.
what it would be like to learn typing before computers.
Well, yeah, you never would have thought about that because it didn't exist. We didn't have many computers back then.
Yeah.
It was called a Univac, and you used hole punch cards.
Wow.
I'm kidding. It wasn't that bad,
Oh,
but it was.
okay.
But no, you had to learn how to type.
Oh.
Did you learn how to type with a computer program?
Yeah, just a program. It just
I never
flashes
even talked to
letters.
anybody
and
about this. Is that how it worked?
Yeah.
So you're learning computers at the same time you're learning how to type.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously
God, that's how it
emphasized on
worked.
typing. Yeah, there are websites that make it really easy.
So
now.
I guess the typing class, I should take that out. If I ever talk about that ever again, I should take that out because it's going to really date me. If people, I say I took a
Yeah.
typing class.
Well, no,
one
I mean,
takes
I
typing
took a
anymore.
typing class.
You did?
I don't know. I wondered about that, if kids still take typing classes. Because, like, they grow up typing more than even I did.
I still remember the home keys because of that woman drilling it.
Yeah.
I just kept looking at B and Sue Leone's asses. They have the nicest asses, and they wore these.
Well, it's good. You
pants.
learn touch typing that way.
Good, Joel.
Yeah.
Make a good co-host. Oh, you are? Hey, by the way, so we were talking about, and by the way, Christina Cha is coming in any second now. I just wanted to sort of talk to you, Joel, about, we mentioned, I don't know if how much you heard, but after Sarah left, I know you chased after, and sort of, you're like, Dave was saying he plays that role, and I do too. In relationships, you're like it's going to be okay, and you're like the shoulder to cry on, and the logical one, and the loving one, and all that kind of stuff. So,
yeah, I mean, Sarah's the whole reason I'm here, so she's obviously, I'm was concerned.
Right.
So yeah.
Well, you'd be concerned even if you weren't the only reason she's here. You're just concerned because it's somebody you love.
Yeah.
And you're concerned with her emotions and her well-being and so forth. So now, how did you see? You were here for the exact
I came in at the tail end of
You
it,
did?
so I didn't see the whole. I wasn't here for the whole thing.
Really?
But I like Sarah and I talk. I know what it was probably. I can imagine what the beginning of the conversation was, but no, I just heard the tail end of it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then you heard the tail end then you heard the entire thing from her because you went after her.
Yeah.
And said, hey.
I can see where she's coming from. I don't know how much we want to continue to get into it, do we?
Because we have a guest coming in?
Well, yeah. I mean, I think...
I like being uncomfortable. I mean, I shouldn't say I like it. I like it, but I don't like it. There's certain things, I mean, how far do you go? I mean, I guess there is a timing thing because we do have a guest coming in.
Yeah, it's just.
But we had a therapist on. I thought was really interesting.
Money, since it was kind of centralized around money, it seems weird to talk about that on the air.
Well, yes, isn't that a key to a lot of? I was just talking about a friend of mine that passed away recently, and I never had an argument with him. And I talked about two people that had long-term arguments over, and I realized the core of the argument and the not speaking to one another in years was over money.
Money or sex. It's usually what it's about.
Well, we weren't having sex with him. Good-looking guy. I wasn't going there. Neither were these guys. Yeah. But I guess I think it's an issue that exists, and definitely with couples and relationships.
Yeah.
Because you realize when you get married, and if you're the breadwinner, you carry that with you of basically, hey, this is my thing, and I should be respected for it. And then there's sometimes in a relationship where you don't feel respected for it. And then the other one is saying, hey, you need to pay more attention to me.
Yeah,
and
that's the third one. Money, sex, or respect. I think that's like all couples' arguments are about one of those three things.
Yeah, like you don't see me. And I guess Anthony was saying that I don't listen to her as well as I should.
I could see that.
Yeah.
Not all the time. I mean, I know you guys go, that's why it's not really my place to judge entirely because you guys have had much longer conversations I have not been privy to.
Right.
But it seemed I could, both ways, like neither of you, it was like you had 2 minutes to air and you wanted to get it all out and it was not a 2-minute conversation. So you both just shut each other down is what it seemed like to me.
Yeah. Yeah, all right.
But,
It is what it is.
It is what it is.
Were you here for it, Stefan?
I heard some of it. But
you heard some of it? All right. Well, doesn't make for good podcasting. We should go to our guest. We should go to our guest. Don't you have like a ringing thing that we do?
I got Christina here, by the way. You guys ready for her?
Yeah.
Yeah, don't you do like a ringing thing? Or
yeah, I'm going to ring the bell.
What do we do?
A doorbell?
Is that what it is? That's what it is.
There's someone at the door.
Heidi and Frank do that. We need something
Hello.
original. Hi, Christina.
Hello.
My little.
So happy to be here.
She was my trophy wife.
Oh, I get a hug too. Wow.
Look at that. You get a hug? I thought it was because she was my trophy wife. Oh, jeez.
On which one?
The first hug I took personal. Now I took that personal, and she hugged you too, just as well as she hugged me.
I had to make it equal. I didn't want to.
No, you didn't have to make it equal. You're my wife.
On TV, I was.
Okay, exactly.
He
So I
owns
thought we were extending that further.
On which show?
We were on Awkward.
It was not awkward as it sounded, but it was fun.
It's just awkward to talk about
It's
the
just
title
awkward
of the
to
show.
talk about it. I don't watch these MTV shows. They're kind of crazy for all these, the demographic, whoever watches these shows, not to judge anyone.
Someone who's just on Survivor. Why judge someone on a show? Well, actually, this wasn't a reality show. It was a scripted show.
It was a scripted show, yeah.
And she played they even called her the trophy wife.
Called me the trophy wife.
I have to tell you, as an actor, you just can't wait to meet who it is. I was in my trailer going, and then at first they said, you're going to share this trailer. I'm going, really?
Yeah.
Oh my God. All hours of the night I have to be in the same trailer with someone who's a trophy wife, but then they moved your trailer. You didn't know this, but they moved you away from me. I didn't take it personal because you hadn't met me yet.
Okay.
If it would have happened after I went to the bathroom and you all of a sudden you weren't in that trailer anymore,
Was
I
that
would have known.
before or after they told me that, like, oh, the principal also has an Asian wife? I'm like, okay. Interesting.
Oh, they told you that
They
I
told
have.
me, yeah.
Really? They went with a whole down low thing. Yeah, I told them. They said, well, she's Asian, and I don't know what else they said. Well, they're obviously beautiful. They said, because you're the trophy wife. We go into this.
I'll take it.
It must be a compliment
Did they-
as a casting,
Yeah.
not so much in real life, but
Weren't
as
you
a casting.
Weren't you
right?
cast as that? Didn't they say?
They did. They casted me as a trophy wife. I get casted as, like, the hot chick.
That must be
you know,
awesome.
It's
There's no insecurity with that at all, or you just love that?
You know, it's fine. The only time that I get a little insecure and upset about it is that, like, okay, we have you as the hot Asian girl, and then it's me pulled with other hot Asian girls, and one girl can, well, myself, I can only assume and accuse that, am I playing an escort? Like, what's going on here?
We must get those calls.
Am I giving
too.
someone a happy ending without even knowing it? I don't know.
You know that was in the script.
It was.
I don't know who the hell took that out. I wasn't happy about it. It said she gives a happy ending. You didn't see that?
No, I didn't.
Oh,
no.
well, damn.
Awkward.
No, yeah, that's awkward. I had a part once where they called for it. It's very strange to me because I didn't grow up, like I would never be cast as that. And they cast me in this pilot as a good-looking guy. They said, he's a good-looking guy, and that was the only stage direction. It wasn't like, oh, he's a guy who's
see
neurotic.
that. You're a good-looking man.
Well, it's not like you're going. You have to actually you just squinted a little bit when you said
No,
that.
no,
you
I
actually
did not
backed up and
squint.
squinted.
My
You went
eyes
like
are
this.
naturally like this.
No, that wasn't a racist joke at all.
Not at all.
No, you did the backup thing and go. You even did the almost like you were looking at a painting. You go, you're good looking. If you really look at it, like if I cock my head a little bit, you gave that look. It wasn't like you were going. It wasn't like you're going. Yeah, that's a good looking guy.
Hey, I go
there's
to
none
art
of that.
galleries. I admire art, and I do that. I want to see what is the whole point of this. What's going on here?
Well,
is there
you
something
just
I'm missing?
I
I meant it in a good way.
I know you meant it in a good way, but it wasn't like I'm not cast as a. I never walk in with my son. I've never seen anything like it. My son is a good-looking dude.
I bet.
One son. The other ones are okay. But the one son, the one son, I am not kidding you. I'm not even kidding when I tell you. It is just like that, where he walks into a room and they all go, "Oh my God!" He even said to me the other day, he goes, "Dad, you don't know what it's like to look like this." Isn't that weird? Have you ever had that happen where you thought to yourself, "God, I'm sick of being good looking"?
I was not a good-looking kid. I had a very awkward stage. My mother gave me this perm in the 80s. I'm going to show you this picture. I'll pull it up for you. You're going to go, what in the world happened? But
How's that my trophy wife?
Exactly. It was a very awkward stage. Everything was all metal. I had glasses on, I had braces, perm.
Oh my God.
My
That's
nickname
heavy
was
metal.
Yeah, it's heavy metal.
Was heavy metal.
My name was like Mop and Glow.
Oh my
I
God!
know.
Really? And that's what they nicknamed you,
That was
Mop
my
and
name,
Glow?
Mop and Glow. Yeah.
Oh my God! Because you had
Yeah.
the glow of
and that's why my hair is straight now, because I'm forever.
Oh, you probably
damaged.
every day are straight now.
Every-
I'll never be Mop again. I might be Glow, but I won't be Mop.
Exactly.
Yeah, but it's odd though to witness somebody who's. I mean, look, we're all decently attractive or whatever, but this kid, people go, whoa, like they stop in their tracks and they all, oh, he's going to get the ladies when he grows up, and they're basically saying, this kid's going to get laid. I mean, so that's what they're saying to me, but they don't understand. It's odd for me to because I've never been that good looking where people go, whoa, like that. And that's what I'm saying is I was cast as that, where I was supposed to walk onto the stage and people are going to go, oh, she's about to meet herself a hell of a guy here. But I'd walk on stage going, no, I'm a geek. Because that's what I think I am inside. Like you with Mop and Glow.
Yeah, with my Mop and Glow. But you know what? I think women have a different approach
They
of what
do?
they find attractive.
Okay.
For me, and I was actually talking to my other girlfriends and stuff, I would technically rather go out with a guy that is not so good looking. This sounds so freaking shallow. Because the loyalty of him wanting to be with me is going to be better versus me being with a guy who's extremely good looking.
Yeah.
I'm always going to worry that he's going to be looking at another girl, and he will be, because the very good looking guy is probably very insecure too and is looking for whatever.
Yeah, I got news for you. The ugly one's looking just as much as the other one. It's how much action they get. That's the only difference.
Okay.
They look at it equally. It's what they're going to achieve. But I'm with you on the first theory. I think that was a very viable theory that many people go with. And those are the women where they walk into a room with their guy, and every other guy in the room goes, what the hell is she doing with him? Or either that or they go, he's got a money or a big dick. This is what we're saying.
Yeah.
I have to be honest with you. That's what we're saying when you walk in with someone that does not meet your criterion on, like, let's say you're a 9, right?
Okay.
And let's say you
I'm
walk
a 7, so I'm okay with it.
Let's say you walk in with a 6.
Uh-huh.
Okay, that's what we're all thinking as guys. You agree, Joel?
Oh yeah. Usually, yeah.
Yeah, we're thinking, what the hell? And she could have me.
Yeah.
Do you think that as well?
Until you then talk to the guy and you're like, son of a bitch, he's nice. Like, you want him to be an asshole. You want him to be just some rich prick that's...
Then you want to be able to be fine with stealing her away.
Yeah.
You just want to be, I'm way fine with this. This guy's an ass. I'm going to give her a great life.
Yeah.
I have to tell you, though, as being a geek, I was a major geek.
I was always a geek too. I still consider myself a geek.
Well, I'm gonna tell you something about yourself that you're not asking for.
Okay.
This is what made you intelligent and fun, and so much fun that I invited you to the show. I've never done that before. After meeting you in 5 seconds.
Oh, I love it. Thank you.
That's why you developed those parts of you, because you couldn't lead with the looks.
No.
So the theory is the people that lead with the looks, they don't work on themselves.
They don't.
That's why you go for someone who used to be a geek and then they blossom into something really good. So therefore, you should ask for people's yearbook pictures. When you see them, when you meet them on a date, you say, "Can I see your yearbook picture?" That's what people should. They should put that on Match.com. Because if they saw Mop and Glow and they see what you are today, they're going to know that you're insecure. You have a picture of Mop and Glow?
I have a picture of Mop and Glow. I'm going to have to show, but we're not putting it up on screen. This is only
How about your body? Was your body always great? I didn't know you have a great body.
I was always an athlete ever since I was a kid. I always ran around. I built forts, went to the forest. I lived in Rolling Hill, so there was a forest sort of out there.
Yeah.
And, you played with sticks, and then you have Maple Leaf games. So, yeah, I was a normal kid like everyone else, played with Barbies.
I'll bet you that those days in the woods, what'd you call it, forest?
It was a slight forest.
What are we, in England?
Days in the woods.
We're in the forest. Who has a forest? There's
no forest. There's like
in the
some
United
trees.
States. There's no forest unless you're literally in a forest, and you're not allowed to live in those because they're park rangers will kick you out. So wait a minute. So you're in the forest. I would imagine that got you on Survivor. Was that pitch? You told the people that were casting you. Oh, good God. Look at this photo. You have to put this up on our screen at some point.
You really should.
This is Joel. Take a look at that.
This is private.
Now listen, I would have been all over you.
What are you talking about?
No, I would have been all over. This is even without the braces. This is the sans braces here. Imagine with the braces, this would have been even worse.
Yeah.
I would have been all over you.
My mom was a big fan of the perm when I was a kid, and of course back then, when the hypercolor shirts and the gel.
It's not a good look, but it's a look for me that I would go, oh, she needs me.
Okay,
she needs me.
Not to make any.
What? You racist comments?
I don't know. You have yellow fever. You got
oh, do I go for the Asians?
Yeah. Sorry.
Is that yellow fever music? What was that music? Was that Survivor?
I would expect a fishtail.
Literally, that is just titled Asian Tune.
Asian tune.
Oh, that was just. Let's hear it again. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, that sounded very Asian.
You need that first note.
I've got the fever. I got the fever.
You're like, I need to rescue you.
Let's discuss this. Oh, no rescuing.
Okay.
Well, in that case, it would be.
Yeah, I needed some severe help there.
That would be that's a Tim Gunn rescue, though. Whatever that guy's name is.
The makeover guy?
Yeah, that's a makeover.
That's a total
makeover. You needed a makeover, but what I would have seen is the potential, and I would have been all over that. Because I would, I went out with? Band girls.
Band girls.
Oh,
wow.
God.
Groupie
girls
band
in bands?
girls?
Oh, girls in bands. In a band, in a marching band.
Oh, marching band.
They were the best.
I was gonna say lesbian girl groups. That's interesting.
No, they already know how to, manipulate the
flute.
all that.
The clarinet.
Oh yeah, they even call it fingering.
Saxophone.
They even say fingering an instrument, for God's sakes. And, who doesn't want someone that fingers an instrument?
I always wonder what they learn in band camp.
That's what they learn in band camp, and that's why that whole American Pie thing in band camp. So I would say
I was actually band president.
You were the band president,
Cleaned
Dave?
up, yeah.
And Bob, bet you got a lot of band tail.
I was a virgin, but they did a lot of make-out sluts, they call them.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, they would only make out?
There was a storage room where, like, they stored the tubas. You'd always find a flutist in there.
Oh!
And we would go on school trips. So, like, we'd go down to Florida for the weekend. We'd go to D.C. So it's more of a melting pot for a place to do what these teens want to do.
Yeah, they have the hormones, and then here they are. But the girls didn't care unless they were majorettes and that kind of thing in the hot pants. What do you call those? The majorettes and the dancers. There's a dance team. There's the majorette team. They always
and don't call the dance team cheerleaders.
The dance teams are flag.
Yeah.
Oh, all of them. They were better looking, but the ones who played an instrument, if they're you have to look at beyond. You have to look beyond. You have to think of what they would look like if they had, like Mop and Glow. I would have been all of them. I would have seen
smaller
the
instrument,
they were to straighten
the
out the
looking.
curls.
The what?
The smaller the instrument, the better looking.
Oh, I disagree. Cello players are the hottest.
Oh, piccolo.
Cello is pretty cool.
Yeah.
I like the cello.
If they play the cello, I've seen some very hot cello players.
Yeah.
And it makes it even hotter because, oh God, I'm going to sound awful, because they spread their legs. And they've got this big thing.
They take it right in between their
They've got
legs.
this thing between their legs, and you're just, let's be honest. We
And
talk
they're
about
very
maturity.
vigorous
I'm
with
not
their
mature
arms.
enough not to think. I'm listening to music. I'm mature enough to know good music. But when I see the legs out and this thing goes in its place, you're thinking along those lines. And you know that we think like that, don't you? You're very intuitive about men, aren't you?
Yes.
You know men.
I actually get
probably why you
along
did well
better
in
with
Survivor.
men than I do with women. With women, I get along well with strong women.
Yeah.
Weak-minded women who act like a typical, oh my God, are you going to take care of me? Is he going to buy me this?
Oh
blah,
my
blah, blah. That
God.
petty shit. I have no patience for that. And I'm
I
not
know.
very nice to them either.
I bet. How about on Survivor? Did you find any of those, and did you go after them?
I
on
did.
Survivor?
And in fact, I think I probably would have done better on Survivor if it wasn't men versus women. My show was men versus women. And the look on my face when there was like men versus women is like, F words. I'm going to be trapped with crazy women.
Really? And they said to you on the air, after they cast you, they announced on the air?
You don't know anything. You're secluded.
You don't even know where you're going to be?
Well, you know where you're going because you're in that plane and everything. It's not that to the point
Okay,
you have
wait
no
a minute.
idea.
Okay, so let's take this from the beginning.
Okay.
I want to take it way to the beginning. I
Way
was
to
up
the
to be the
beginning.
host of Survivor, and I actually said to myself, this will
You
never
did?
last.
You're like,
I'm such a
Jeff
genius. I'm such a genius. I did it for Deal or No Deal. I am so stupid. When I see something come across my desk, I'm going, this is not going to make it. But I do stick with things like the Magic Johnson show. That was a smart move on my point.
everybody likes basketball.
Yeah, exactly. But they don't like him when he talks. So anyway, that was the whole point. It was a talk show. That's the decision I made right around the time that Survivor was coming out. So they contact you. How does the process work? Take us
Well,
through.
you apply. I was probably one out of 400,000 people who applied. Of course, I'm going to be the spicy Asian girl that kind of pulls myself out of there. I looked at other videos of other Asian girls. They're like, hi, my name is Michelle Quinn, and I am a Harvard medical student. I'm like, boring.
Even if
I'm
you
a
were.
saleswoman. I kick ass all the time.
And that was your video? You said, I kick ass.
Basically, yeah. It
You
was
wanted
like
them to
that.
know how strong you'd
I
be
wanted
on
them to
the
know
island.
how strong and how silly I am and how I really didn't give a shit about certain things.
Is
I
it a
went out-
video?
It was a video. I actually can't find that video. It was like my Sears audition video. It was one time I got in.
What does it mean, Sears audition?
It was like-
You go to Sears?
No, I didn't
You can
go
have a
to
washer,
Sears.
dryer, or here's a little booth that you can audition
I hopped
for
right
Survivor.
into the dryer and I tumbled myself in, and then I came out and I was like, I had an epiphany. I was like, I want to be on Survivor.
How does that work?
I've always been a fan of Survivor.
Okay.
I loved watching it, and this is kind of like a warm-hearted moment. Like during
Mm.
the time, I had a really bad relationship with this crazy guy, and I decided. And it was every time I watched it, I was like, God, I would be so good at this show. These people are so crazy, and like I'm so good with social game. I understand people. I'm also good at business, and I'm athletic. Like and there's no Asian girls. There's like all the Asians here look like they're pushovers, and this isn't cool. Like I wanted to make
You wanted to also do
I wanted
sort
to
of
break the glass ceilings of all the stereotypes of all the Asians that are out there, like the pushovers.
I don't watch it
submissive.
much. They've had other Asians with slide rules and pocket protectors. I mean, I know they can't have a computer on the island, so I figured to have some.
You can't have anything. They give you like a machete. They give you like pocket knives and
Really?
stuff. Yeah, and there's crazy people on that show. They really are crazy.
Did they give you, since you're Asian, a samurai sword?
No, well, we had to share everything.
Let's give her the samurai sword.
They gave me a bag of rice. That's what they did. And I cooked it and I did laundry.
Nice.
And that was my strategy, guys.
Let's give her
that
some
was
detergent.
That was my strategy. Don't vote me off.
So now, where were you living at the time you're having these thoughts? Were you in California?
I was living in Hollywood.
In Hollywood, and you wanted to be in the acting world.
I wanted to be in the acting world. I never really kind of stepped into it. I've always done hosting. I never knew what that was like. I've always been in corporate America and always had like a job because that's what my Asian parents wanted me to have.
Sure, yes.
So, and then I got laid off and I was like, I don't have a job. And
Right.
I decided, you know what, if I think I'm going to get a job, but the moment I don't have it, thank you, Uncle Sam, for unemployment, I think I'm going to apply for Survivor. So I applied for Survivor. And then a few months went back, I got a job, and then casting called me up, and they were saying, like, hey, would you like to be on Survivor? At first, I thought it was like a prank. I thought maybe my friends were
Because it had been a
joke
while,
on me.
so you probably
Yeah,
let
it's
it
been
go.
a while.
and
I
you're
was like,
yeah.
I'm like, quit fucking with me. And they're like, well, you're exactly who we want to talk to. And I'm like, okay.
Oh, they like that you said that to them.
Yeah, sure.
Because I have friends who like to fuck with me sometimes.
They're putting their
and I'm
hand.
so
They're putting their hand
gullible.
over the phone, going, "She's awesome. She told me to go fuck myself. Now this is a perfect candidate." Okay, so what else do you want to say to me?
Yeah.
So they're talking to you on the phone, and you basically understood that this
This is the real deal. This is the real jam, and it's happening. And the funny part is that I was myself how I am with you right now in the whole application process. I get on the game, and I don't know what happened, but I think out of malnourishment and everyone picking on me, that personality doesn't come out anymore.
Huh.
I was like,
You mean once you
boring.
got to the island? Okay, but now we skipped a step. We're going to come back to the island. I want to get from. They call you.
they call me.
Then they say, "Show up where?"
I cannot tell you where it is.
Okay.
Sorry,
You can't
it's a
tell
secret
me?
spot.
Or they're
I can
telling
tell
you this?
I can tell you offline.
Oh, you can't tell me?
Offline.
Oh, really? No, that's interesting. You don't have to be
Yeah.
specific, but there is like a CIA place that
There
they tell you
is.
to meet.
And they're there. And they're still there for other places too where they do casting and stuff. So I can't tell you.
Oh my!
Oh,
Oh,
they just get
can't.
like bum rushed by.
yeah.
What if I want to go
Crazy
back?
people?
They're like Christina Cha.
No,
Yeah.
I understand
everything.
that, but I didn't realize. No, but it's interesting to know. Like, for instance, there's a Pentagon, and that's a secret place. The Survivor
there's
has a
Survivor
secret
casting.
office
Yes.
that they kind of have. Now, in the office, you don't have to say where it is. Okay.
Somewhere in Los Angeles.
You didn't have to say that. Wait, stop! You don't have to say that. But do they have like when you go into they have like sets and stuff with vines and rocks and see how you do? Go rock climb. Is it like that kind of
the
thing?
funny part is, like, so the casting tells you, like, when you're going in the semifinals to be casted, that there's like special
Wait a minute, so
tests
there's-
that they do.
so now
there's semifinals.
they say
There's
you have a
finals and there's semifinals of getting an app during the application.
Oh,
process.
there's a,
hundreds of thousands of people.
When
who
they call you though, they say you're now narrowed down, but you're not
narrowed
on the
down.
show.
Yeah.
They're not telling you you're
They're
on
like,
the show.
we have gone through all the applicants out there. You are you're like the 1,000th type person
Wow.
that we're gonna have you in here.
And they're going to have you in by yourself, or
They
you're
have you
relating
in
with
by
other
yourself
people.
No, they seclude you in a room by yourself. You can only talk to production people. You see other people who are going through it, and you just like in your mind is playing games with you.
Yeah.
So one of my
So
other
the game has begun already.
Not my
Yeah.
mind's playing games. Your mind was playing games. I've never done
So
it.
there was another
Okay.
contestant. Some people are brighter than others. I was just like, whatever. I'm trapped in a hotel room with nothing going on. At least I have the internet. Thank God.
Now, do they pay for this? They pay.
They
for
do.
Your,
They do.
They pay for this vetting process
They
to
have
take
to.
place.
I
Okay.
do not do this shit for free.
Right. Right. I can't imagine because other people have to fly in, don't they? From
They
other.
do. They fly them in. They
Right.
feed you. They put
Oh.
you in a room. They're like, you can swim. You can go in the gym.
You just can't
or
talk about
whatever.
what you're
You
there
just can't
for.
talk to anybody. You can just stare. That's it. So I just
They're
stare.
staring at this.
You stare at people.
You blink first. Do you play that game? I play it with my kids. You blink first. So you're staring at these people. We're just trying to get an idea of what this looks like. So you're in this hotel, and then there's a casting office, and they're narrowing it down. Do they make you do anything physical?
No, they don't make you do any physical. It's more of like you interviewing. It's an interviewing process. They put a camera like this, and then they ask you questions. They drill you. You're just like, I don't know. I'm trying to answer as much as I can. That sounds brilliant and fantastic. And actually, this is the dress I wore. For the
It is
interview.
not.
It is. This is what I wore.
I love that you wore your special dress for us.
This is my Survivor interview.
It makes us
It's
feel
safari.
special. Either that or she has no other clothes. You don't get a lot for fourth place.
Yeah. Do you
Rub it in,
like?
why don't
But you can make like you get new gigs out of it, right? Like because
What do you
you've been
mean, new
on.
gigs?
Well,
Well,
like
you
you've
know-
been
got
on,
this.
so yeah, you're here.
I am here.
not like it's
I've done
nothing.
some co-hosting things. You know, it's funny. Like, before Survivor, I was nobody. Nobody knew who I was. Well, except for my friends because they love me.
Oh.
But to anybody else, they're just like, who the H is this person?
Mm-hmm.
And all of a sudden, you like see your Twitter followers. It goes up from 300 to like 3,000, and then it keeps on growing. You're like, well, who are these people? And then they start sending you like perverted tweets. And you're like, what? I'm like, do I block them? I kind of want the followers, but you know, it's weird. And I'm like, I just won't respond to it.
You should just have 2 different Twitter accounts.
I-
One's for creeps.
One for creepers.
Yeah, my son calls me a lurk.
Alert.
He likes that word, lurk.
Lurk.
If
It's
ever
a good word.
well, if ever
Your
I
son
say,
is smart. He reads.
yeah, is that what he? No, I wish he'd read more than something about lurking. If ever I say she's cute, you never say that to your son.
Why? Cute is good. If
No.
you say hot, then he's like, Dad, Mom.
I might have said that too. I might have done that too. Yeah. Okay, now I got it. Okay. Yeah, I might have said hot. I
Yeah.
was just being nice. I might say hot, or I'll just say, hey, what about her? You know, because I'm always trying to see if my kids will be interested in certain types, and we're never the same type. By the way, son is not into Asian women.
No?
No, he hasn't
Okay.
inherited that from me.
Okay, he likes blonde white girls.
He does.
I knew it.
He does.
My little brother loves blonde white girls and redheads.
You said I knew it like you were frustrated. It's been your whole life.
No, it's
I
just
knew
how
it like
it
all
is.
of them.
I knew it,
They're
all of
all the
them.
same, the bastards. They all after this
Because they
blonde.
probably saw their mothers in their most
True.
undesirable moment, and they're like, damn, that's how they're going to be when they're 50. Crazy Asian bitch. I'm going to be a crazy Asian bitch when I'm 50. I know it for sure.
No, but the thing is, Asian women age well.
We age well, but
Yes.
but like we kind of overcompensate or like craziness. I don't know. My mom's crazy. Your wife is probably a dream. My mom is crazy.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got the dream one. I did good. I did, but she's only half. She's
Oh,
half.
okay.
So who knows which half is working? But it works for me. So now I want to take us back to you. You are applying.
Yeah.
And then when do you find out? That must be so exciting.
You don't know. You know everything towards the last minute. And the way how they always sell you is like, this is Survivor. Everyone wants to be on this show. They love this.
Mm-hmm.
And you're just like, I have a job. And I what is going to happen to me like afterwards? Like, you have to think about it.
Yeah.
I'm not like from a very wealthy family.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to think about, I'm responsible. How am I going to take care of myself financially? And they're like, you know, you're going to be gone for a few months. And
So
I'm
at this
like,
point, they're pitching you
they're
because they
pitching
want
me
you.
like this is
It's
this
reversed.
is an opportunity of a lifetime. There is a chance that you're going to win the $1 million, and that's true. I was very close.
Yeah.
I didn't think I was.
Did they say it like Austin Powers, $1 million?
I
Did
wish.
they say you're going to win $1 million? Now, did they basically? So now it reverses. They are pitching you on you need to make this decision, and they're
Right.
making it your decision of do you want to go?
Yeah.
When do they say that, and how do they present that to you?
Well, they reinsure you every time they call you and say you're very close, you have it, you know, you have other people, and then your mind is like, who's the other Asian bitch who wants this?
Yeah, because you know,
Like, I'm
you're,
I know the fact is there has to be one Asian girl.
and you know you're not against Ingrid from Sweden. You
No,
know that it's
yeah.
that they're casting the Asian.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
It's not you neck and neck.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
so you realize this, and now and by the way, did you during your audition process did you play the Asian thing? I told my wife to do that to get on
there-
Price is Right. I figured this is very similar. I
I
told
think
her
I
that-
tried to tell myself I wasn't the typical Asian girl. I've sold myself that way the whole time. I was kind of feisty, and you know, there was parts of it that like my integrity was being challenged, and I was like, oh man, this is national television. The real me would have been like whatever, and then I was like, oh, what if people remember a situation that I did
Yeah.
that it's going to go with me? And I'm kind of glad that I didn't make those choices, because
You mean during the show?
during the show
when you're in
of-
Samoa.
yeah, of like what really goes on the mind of Christina Cha. Sometimes it's a little dark.
Oh, we didn't get to see the dark. They would have edited it out anyway.
I think they would have kept it. They wanted me to be a certain way.
Yeah.
They want you to say certain things. Like there was episode 6, Colton got sick, and he so-called had appendicitis, but really had a bacterial infection. That kid was rotten, mean to me, and everyone and the producer is like, "So, would you say karma got to him?" And I'm like, thinking in my mind, I'm like, well, Buddhists don't really think karmatically that would work. And I was trying to be logical, and I was also malnourished. I was like, no. And they were like, well, what you think? I'm like, he was just a spoiled little brat. And he
You
just
said
couldn't.
that?
No, I didn't say that, but I was just like, you know, he's alone and he's sick. And I'm thinking to myself, God, I sounded like a total pussy in this. But
That's the way you went with it? You went with,
I went for the total, like, let's
I think
make
we should
everyone
feed
love
him. Let me give him some breast milk. You didn't go that far.
Yeah, I didn't go to that far. Not to that extent.
All right.
I don't have any, but I did take care of him, and I was just, in my mind, it was strategy of like, this is a chance that I can save myself. And I'm a human being. I do feel sorry whenever someone's sick and needs help and everything. And
They were trying to lead you to
say like, this
say
is
it's karma, bitch.
Say it's karma, bitch. Exactly. They were trying to feed me with certain things to say, and I was just like, this isn't. Why can't you just let me be me and just go with it and everything? Like, what do you think? I'm like, yeah, I did think for a moment this was going to help me in a strategy, but I'm not a bad person. Like, I want him to be taken care of. I don't want to ever. It's like you don't want to go into war and go like, haha, sucker, you died. I don't want that to happen.
What about the people that do commit to the character of being the mean character? How are they in real life? I mean, are they committed to doing that, quote, for the show and to win the money? Or do you think they're really bad people?
I think there's people who are lost and who have no idea. They don't know
In
themselves.
life.
In life.
Yeah.
So they think that that's the way how they're supposed to be.
Oh, yeah.
And then there's people who are genuinely mean and self-centered, and they want that. And that also goes
I always
back
wonder
into
about
being
those people.
insecure. Yeah.
The ones who are really mean and self-centered. Did they ever look at themselves in the mirror and go, God, I was a little mean and self-centered?
No,
Or
they're
does
just
that ever
like,
cross
how
their
else am I
mind?
going to get more attention?
Oh, my God.
I think so. I'm pretty
And those
sure.
are the ones who win. Would you say that's the case? If you were going to look back at them, how long has it been on now? 15 years?
Show's been on since 2000, almost 15 years.
Yeah. So you think in those 15 years, most of the winners were pretty much the creepiest? Not the creepiest.
It's some are actually good winners.
Jerkiest.
Some are jerks, and then
There's no consistency.
Some are like, you didn't do shit to win too.
Really?
Yeah.
They just were sort of the last person standing.
Yeah.
Whereas the other people,
Because
eliminating
they cause
people,
absolutely no
were
conflict to anyone at all,
right.
whatsoever.
The conflict people, or they go all the way to the end because they like that for the drama.
Right.
And meanwhile, this one's on the sidelines.
Right. And,
then suddenly,
quiet,
just by attrition, they're the last one standing. That's how it works for some.
Because they were seen as the non-threat, or so they thought.
Your
and
year
they
was
winning.
You were last year in Samoa, and who won?
Kim Sprotten,
And-
well deserved.
Oh, okay.
I'm not going to be a sourpuss about it. She did really well. She lied to my face, and I believed every lick of her lies. She's not only gorgeous. You look at her blue eyes, you're like, yes, Kim. Everything you say. Why would you lie to me? You have blue eyes. And she lied to me. And I was like, and I realized towards the end, and I was like, damn, I must be the biggest idiot.
Yeah.
And it's on national television.
You and the Native Americans, they made that statement a few times too.
Exactly.
Oh,
You must be from the gods.
Yes. Oh, look, they're coming over this beautiful ship, and they have blue eyes. Tell me anything. You can have my corn. Basically, I guess that's what blue-eyed people do. They just take your shit. You don't even know. They lie to you. They take your shit. Blue-eyed people. I don't care. So now I have a blue-eyed girl, by the way. Wait, your eyes are blue. Yeah. You lying bastard. Don't look at him. Don't look at him. He'll take things from you, Joel. So
He's taking my soul.
You made it to 4th place?
I made it to the Final Four.
Final Four.
Nobody thought that I would ever make it that way. That's 38 days of no showering, guys.
38 days.
38 days.
Do they
of no
pay
showering.
you for the time you're there?
I know, right? It's so gross.
How about the gross part would be, how about all the hair that you normally would get rid of?
Oh, I lasered that shit.
Wait a minute.
Laser
really?
hair removal. We live in the millennial generation.
You're
with
right. I guess
technology.
the first ones back in 2000.
No, we didn't have that technology.
Back in 2000.
Then, yeah. But they had bikini wax.
An old jungle going on everywhere.
Yeah.
But you lasered everything?
I lasered, yeah.
Good move.
What these guys are thinking.
What do you know what these guys are? Hey,
Yeah.
wait a minute. What are we thinking? We're thinking,
Arm, underarm.
I have to admit,
Yes.
I started with the arms in my mind. I did. When I was asking the question, I was thinking, oh, they got these hairy armpits.
Yeah.
And then I thought to myself, once you said the laser, I'm sure you didn't stop at the pits.
Yeah. Well, my arms and my legs, there's no hair on it. That's the Asian genes. God bless it. And then the rest you can use your imagination.
Okay.
I figured this is a pretty savvy group.
Okay, so you lasered the whole deal, and that was when you found out, or was that already the case? Was that in your pitch? By the way,
No,
I'm
I'm
lasered.
vain.
I'm all set to go, folks. If you want to cast me, I'm ready for anything. Okay, full frontal, we're good. Did you tell them this? Well, I'm all lasered. Now, when did you do the lasering?
I did it 2 years before.
You did?
Because I am slightly shallow, vain, I guess.
No, it's okay. It's okay. We're
I
not
like
a Survivor now. You can be honest.
I like taking care of myself. It's fun. It's one of those things that a girl likes to do for themselves.
No, apparently boys are too. My
Boys
son
are
made this
too.
statement to me the other day.
He lasered his balls?
No,
What?
he didn't make that. He didn't make that. He's 15. He made a statement
God, I hope
the other
not.
day.
What statement?
He goes, Dad, you got stuff on your junk the girls don't want.
Is that the...
It's the new thing. You can't have anything on your junk.
Nothing?
Nothing.
I
said, you got to be kidding. Now, this is a generational thing. Even Joel.
Yeah.
Of that, you're not my son's generation, but yeah, he
No.
said that it's got to be all clean or they won't go there anymore.
Wow.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
I'd be making that appointment if I were his age. So you were doing this just because that's the look that you believe in anyway. Forget about this. I don't need this.
That's
true.
For me, I'm just gonna say hygiene wine is comfortable, and it's funny because I knew the other girls who also got the mental note of, hey, we're gonna be out here, no razor, no shower, nothing. I'm gonna get laser hair removal too. So
Not to take this into a whole hygiene place, but I am now curious.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
So you're. Let's be honest. We're talking about our downstairs,
Yeah.
our basements. Okay. We're nothing up attic. We're now down at the basement.
Mhm.
Which gets musty, and that's what basements do. So now,
It's if you don't clean
lasering
it.
is lasering permanent, right? How many treatments do you need to have permanent removal?
It's slightly permanent,
Yeah.
depending on your hair texture or whatever.
Uh-huh.
Hair does grow back, but the whole process, it depends. Like, you have many sessions, and, and I can refer my laser hair removal doctor if he gave me some nice, I'm kidding. For me, it was about maybe 5 sessions for it, but I have coarser hair, dark, and
Okay.
it smells like your hair is burning on your skin.
Oh, good God.
So the
people go through.
the nurse actually literally opens you up, and you put a gel or whatever, and then just goes into town, and
Yeah.
you're just like, it's fine. It hurts like hell.
Really?
It hurts. It stings.
They always
It's
say that there
painful.
are not enough jobs out there. I would think that would be a job we should see more of. People applying to do.
To be laser hair removal.
Laser hair removal.
Yes. So, I mean, there's a need for it. Apparently, this next.
There's probably some kind of background check for
The
that.
millennials are all going to get
There's
cleaned down
I
there.
would hope so.
A background check?
Yeah.
What?
You don't want some creeper
Sex
down
predator.
You're a pedophile.
there.
Yeah.
Pedophile.
Well, if they'd
I
be
would
a
think-
pedophile,
was
they
there
wouldn't
a
be
ba-
doing. Hopefully, they wouldn't be doing 12-year-olds.
No,
There
but
must
that's
be
the
a-
motive because it reminds them of I just went there.
Is there a background check for
We
Survivor?
tend to do that because Joel has blue eyes. He brought that out in you.
He took my soul. I saw it.
I did. I have a
Way to go,
jar.
Joel. I knew we had you here for a reason. Go get her. Come on. What else do you have to say? Get it out.
But I am curious. Is there background checks for Survivor? Because
There
I would
are.
think by now there would have been like a real creeper on there. Like there are crazy people,
There are
but like a
creepers.
real someone who gets on the show for bad reasons.
I mean, there's a level of psychopaths that they have to put on the show. They want
have
psychopaths
to.
because it
It's
makes
just part of
great
the show.
TV. But anyone who says I'm on the verge to kill myself, how many times have you thought about killing yourself? And it's like one of those psych tests that most
Yeah.
people take
Yeah.
if you work at a company, and they're like, okay, can we keep them here? They're not going to take a machine gun and go into town if we fire them.
Right.
So it's the same
Which
thing
is
with
just
these
the right
people.
amount of
Are they
crazy.
not going to come around and throw a machete at these people?
Right.
You know?
Yeah. Is there a level of? I know the reality shows aren't known for their integrity, but is there a level of cheating that goes on where they want to
Oh.
keep a certain person on the show and get rid of others?
Well, they cheat all the time. This is a game with no rules.
Mhm. Right.
And I
Even
think
for
there's
the
some
producers.
people who've been hinted where the idol is. I still watch Survivor, and I think they're like, how the F do they find the idol? I looked all over, and
Yeah.
I think some of these people get hinted off. Like,
who they
Why
want
don't you
to.
look underneath the water? Why don't you go in the ocean? There's a rock over there. I'm like,
Why don't you
I feel
look
like
in
I'm
my
dealing with
hand? It's right here.
I feel like I'm dealing with my kids now because you want them to feel good about themselves. You know,
Right.
4 years old looking for somebody. And I'll
Yeah.
go, hey, I'm hungry, and how about you check in the closet for some food? You know, you want to help them out when they're playing hide and go seek, and it's been an hour. You know, you want
Right.
to help them out. So, but they're helping the people that they want to advance.
I think
They're
so.
not necessarily picking the winner, but they are picking the top 5, which you made though. So did anybody do that with you?
No, I think everyone wanted me to go.
They
Everyone
did.
wanted me to
so you
leave.
made it despite what their wishes
I
were.
did.
And where do you get that from? Where do you think this that they wanted you to go? They meaning the producers or the cast or both?
Both.
Really?
I felt it. I think there were some people who were cheering me on, but I think everyone wanted me like, that bitch needs to go.
How about fans?
Fans?
Fans, they're probably behind
fans
you.
means they like me, so I think they wanted me to win. But there
Oh,
were
that's
some,
true.
There were some haters.
Yeah.
There were some people that said that I had no strategy, I had nothing going on. But like when everyone doesn't want you to go in a certain place, I mean, like what can you say? What is there strategize other than lying and cheating and backstabbing, which I did none. So I guess I didn't strategize.
Yeah. Well,
in those
what
regards.
was your strategy? I think your strategy was, oh, I'm going to be the good person.
I was going to be the good person. I wasn't
Right.
going to lie. I was going to stay loyal to my alliance.
Okay.
If someone were to ask me, I just didn't answer to them, and that's what you do as a salesperson. Like if the customer doesn't ask, you didn't lie. So that's how it is, and that's just kind of like the game I played. I guess in a way, kind of dumb and aloof a little bit, but I knew exactly what was going on, except for when I got to the point. It was like, oh, the person who I thought was in my alliance, Kim, who won, went to someone else, and that's where I knew it. And like she had an alliance with these people. Long before her and I had an alliance, I was her. I was
Do you
her
watch
backup
the
plan.
episodes back and just think like,
Oh, it's
son
actually
of
on the
a-
first episode, the first one when she made an alliance with Sabrina and Chelsea. So the fans would know this. Anybody who are listeners are like, what the hell is she talking about?
Yeah.
She made an alliance with them day one.
And you didn't know this?
And I didn't know that because
they were in another, not
were
another
sing-
room, they were in another
they were
bush
like,
or
they
a
were in
rock.
another bush and a tree.
Okay, yeah.
You know, as we were collecting coconuts and stuff. They
How was
discussed
Samoa,
about
by
it.
the way? What kind of tragedies were you
Beautiful.
running into? I mean, not tragedies, but difficulties and obstacles. Well, I mean, some of them, well, this island's filled with snakes.
I was
We got to
starving.
get St.
Yeah.
Patrick to lead them out of here. Whatever it was, did you have, like, what was their prevalent obstacle? Was it bugs? Was it...
The bugs. There was tons of bug bites. I think there was a scene where my back was covered with 50 mosquitoes. It was a very attractive sight.
50 mosquitoes?
50.
We saw them on the
I
air?
think I counted. I was like,
in
it's
HD, there they were?
I mean, yeah, it's an HD.
Little,
It's
they had little
horrible.
fat bodies filled with blood.
Yeah, and they all liked me, and they didn't like anybody else. So I guess I was very sweet.
Hey, I know yellow fever. Those mosquitoes got it, and so do I. I understand it.
So
Those mosquitoes are, oh, she's subservient.
and
Those Asians.
and the ocean was like very plentiful with great fish, but since it was men versus women in the beginning, women were horrible fishermen.
Right. Yeah,
fisherwomen.
it's even called fishermen.
Yeah, I
Yes,
know.
never called
exactly. We
fisherwoman.
could not fish anything, and whenever we fished, we got an angel fish, and I was like the tribe's cook. And I look at it, I was like, God, we can't eat this fish. And they're like, yes, we can. Let's eat it. I'm like, it's an angel fish. And I'm like, what is an angel fish? I'm like, you see it in the aquarium. God, I'm stuck with dumb bitches. It sucks. It sucks. It sucks. They're like, just put it in the rice. No, I'm not killing it and spoiling it in our rice. They're like, do it. I'm like, okay, I don't want to be voted off. All these girls hate me. I'm just going to do what I'm told. And then they're eating the rice, and they're like, God, it tastes fishy, it's gross. I'm like, yeah, it's the angel fish that told me to put in.
You're supposed to look
Told
at
you
it
not
in an aquarium.
But you're talking about voting me off, so I complied, and here you go. We all die. Hate you.
Did you say any of these things? You're now saying them, but you
I'm
didn't say
saying
them.
it now. I didn't say any of this because I was.
You held it in.
I held a lot of stuff in.
But you still made it to 4. I mean,
did
I think
it
that's pretty
before.
far.
Yeah.
Now,
yeah,
why
I
do you
did.
think that? Why do you think it made it that far if you were so not well liked and
I think
not in
I
any
was likable.
alliances?
They were afraid that I was going to win. I talked to people. I got to know them. I learned about their life and their whole backstory. And, I think they wanted to, not like me.
Right.
But then that was it. They're like, God, we just can't
Do you
have
think
the
they
Asian
didn't
woman."
want to like you because of the Asian thing or
Asian
because
thing.
of... Really?
Mhm.
Do you really think that people are prejudiced towards
People are
Asians?
I think so. I
What
think
do you
Hollywood
think?
is.
This is a great topic.
I do. I think
Yeah.
Hollywood is very prejudiced, and I think reality shows is very prejudiced towards Asians,
Wow.
Asian females. And there wasn't a joke that I got casted as a hot Asian girl, and
So what
said
what
this
is
looks
what
like
is
an
it do you
escort
think?
thing.
Let's break this down because we love to go deep on our show, and we're honest here. By the way, look at her blue eyes. Get it out of her. Okay, so what do you think people? And I'll be honest with you on what I think it is, and I'm not Asian, but what do you think people are prejudiced towards? Like I could tell you what people are prejudiced towards: blacks, Latinos. If it's white being prejudiced towards them, I could pretty much assume based on what I've heard from the years of prejudice from other people who are white like me. What do you think they're prejudiced with Asians? What do you think the topic would be?
I think that they're afraid that we are masters of copying things and we're going to do it better. I mean, look at Japan and Korea. We copy stuff and then we emulate it and we make it better.
Wow.
Sorry, Apple.
And all these, I swear to you, in the 2 years of this show, that might have been one of the most surprising answers I've ever
Yeah,
heard.
I wouldn't have thought of that.
I
either.
think
In
that's
my
what it is.
entire life, has
They're going
that
to
ever
copy
come
us
up?
and they're going to do it better. Damn it. That's what they think.
Look, I've been white for most of my life.
Most.
No, all
Most
of
of
it. All
Yeah.
of it. Okay, all my life I've been a white male. Okay,
Yes, yes.
okay. So I want to tell you something. I'll be honest with you. I'm going to go almost zero on that theory.
Okay.
I would tell you other things if you. I would say, oh yeah, I relate to that. I've heard that before. So I'm like your inside guy with the white people who are the prejudiced
Okay.
ones. I'm not going to go with that one.
Okay, what do you go with? What was it that you're
I mean,
lighting
you too,
on?
Joel. How shocking
Well,
was
I
that
mean,
to hear that?
it's surprising, but are you talking from like a business perspective? Because I could see that maybe being like in the corporate world.
In the business
they're
perspective,
afraid
but
of you
also
or
in
something.
general, if we were to go back into history, we looked at it like, during the
But,
World
like, from, like, a-
Wars.
I'm trying
Japan,
to make-
everyone was fearful of Japan. And
Yeah.
they put them in the concentration camp. Nobody wants to talk about it. It's totally fine.
Oh, no, I know. I talk about it.
Yeah.
I think that was disgusting what America
Right.
did. And by the way, German descent people in America were running free. Not one went to prison, and yet they
No
put them
one.
in internment
We
camps.
don't talk
and
about the Chinese railroads
Oh,
being
no,
built.
exactly.
That was legal slavery that was
But
happening
I
right
don't-
here in our
but
soil.
But let's go back to your theory, though. I don't think that people are going, make that railroad, those copycatting bastards. They're going to steal our ideas,
They
did,
put
and
them
they
on
made
the
it
railroad
faster.
before they do.
The trains
That's
in
what I was
Asia
saying.
are
What's
better
the,
than ours.
What's the core element? Like I think for instance, with blacks,
Yes.
I think the prejudice is men. It's always about fear. You use the word fear, and I love that.
Uh-huh.
But it is always a fear.
It
A
is.
prejudice is
It
about
is.
fear. I think that white males fear that black men will take their women away.
I love that one.
Okay?
It's funny.
Because most white people aren't prejudiced towards, oh, your man's calling you. Who's going to come in?
Oh, I
He's
know.
calling you. Yeah, you tell him.
I don't
you
think
tell him
he
you're with
knows,
another
should I?
man. You'll be
tell-
yeah, and you're with a blue-eyed one. I want you to tell him that.
Hey, honey, I'm on air.
She's live. You're supposed to be on the show too. I'm not eating your place until
I
you
was
do.
gonna make it go on voicemail, but they made me do it.
I did not. I said you were with.
They made me do it.
Tell her
Now
you're
you
with
have
two
to be
men.
on. I'm with
One of
two
them's
men.
blue eyes, and he's
One of
getting
them's
everything
blue
out of
eyes.
you. He's a ponytail. So, all right, hang up from him. I'm on to something.
Wait. Should I put him on speaker?
No, hang up from him.
No,
Hang up on
they
him.
told me to hang up on you. I'm sorry.
Listen, Ginger.
Don't listen to that. Now you're being prejudiced towards ginger.
I'm doing it on purpose because we're talking about prejudice. If you were here, we'd be talking about it with you too.
You would be protecting me.
And tall people. I'm 6'2", so we're okay, and I have a redheaded daughter. Does that make me okay?
He has flexibility as a cook tonight, so you have to come in and let's do dinner.
I want to go. We'll have
Let's do
dinner there tonight.
Okay.
That's what we'll do.
We're gonna do dinner tonight.
Tonight.
Woo!
Oh, yes.
I'm bringing him over to dinner, honey.
He's a top chef.
Oh, really?
Yeah, top
Like
chef.
one of the
Yeah.
top chefs?
Yeah, one
I'll
of the
talk
top
to you
chefs.
soon. Bye.
Wow.
I try to have them on together.
So reality sticks together.
Christina,
huh?
of course.
Hey,
she's-
I did
look,
not
I'm
plan
Asian. I have
this.
plenty to say
Yeah.
by
I
myself.
I did not plan this at all.
You guys
She's
just go to
probably like,
conventions.
damn, why'd you put me on air?
So
No, he's sweet.
So what prejudice is basically you're seeing something, a fear or something in yourself that you don't like that you project onto someone else.
True.
And maybe the copy thing would be appropriate with that. People, no, I'm a copycat. Well, they're a copycat. So
Right.
But I don't know what it really would be. Geez, we only have a couple minutes. I thought that was
We
such
have
an
a couple of
interesting,
minutes. I was having so much fun here.
such an interesting topic, though. Maybe you'll come
We have
back
3
another
minutes.
time. Maybe you
We're
come
gonna
back.
let's do
Could
this.
you come back
I
another
can come
time?
back and talk about this too.
Come
This
back
is a
with
very
your
pressing
come
moment.
back with your boyfriend who's a top chef. Wouldn't that be great?
When do you call someone
Bring
who's a
food.
boyfriend yet? I mean, he's the only person I'm
Oh.
dating and the only person I'm seeing.
You can call him that.
I guess so. I don't know why, because like people have these different terms. They're like, "Hey, we're hanging out," and I'm like, hanging
God.
out.
Oh,
That's the term that was
terrible.
like one of those things. That's like hanging out. I hang out with a lot of people. I'm hanging out with you. I don't sleep with you.
Oh
This
my
is
God.
Weird.
Yeah.
Like,
I've hung
But you
out
haven't
with
said it to each
a lot
other.
of people. Like
I call it
hanging out,
talking.
it's like a slap in the
Talking.
face. What do you
I'm
think?
talking with so and so. I say talking.
I'm talking.
That's the word.
I say I'm seeing.
Talking means fucking.
We're dating.
Let me
Talking
ask you
means
something.
fucking.
Is everything
When
in
you're
your
talking
language
means
is,
fucking.
in the millennial language, does everything have air quotes now? I'm talking. I'm hanging.
What about like texting? I'm texting someone.
Texting is a prequel
I'm
to
texting
talking.
naughty
Oh,
things.
God,
You can have multiple texters and not be considered like too slutty, but you're just talking to one at a time.
You're
I
a
guess-
text slut. Just not.
Yeah.
It's called sexting.
Yes, and boyfriend is now an antiquated term, I'm hearing. Is that
That's
correct?
like
Yeah,
you might as well
okay.
be married.
It's too committed.
Oh,
We
really?
might as well be like,
Oh.
And,
slow down
our
now.
generation does not want to commit.
Take.
I know that's
How-
almost
how
as far as
long-
we go.
How long have you been hanging with your man?
Hey, we've been dating
Okay, dating.
since
We can use that.
January.
January. Oh, it's
Yeah.
very new.
Very new. That's why I was like boyfriend. I'm like, dude, when do you call that a boyfriend and girlfriend? He calls me his Korean girlfriend, so I guess it's fine. I call him my sexy chef
Ginger.
boyfriend. My ginger boyfriend. I have called him that too.
Yeah.
You have
He is
said-
my first ginger.
Nice.
Do you know? I've heard from a friend of mine. I have a redhead daughter now.
How did you get a redhead dinner?
So there's two guys in my neighborhood,
Uh-huh.
and I went
Both
to both
with
of them,
red
and I
hair.
said, I have it down to you two. So,
Oh.
how much you hanging out when I went on the road? No, everyone was why I'm
Hanging
retiring from the
out.
road. How much you
Hanging
hanging out,
out.
Hanging
with
out.
my wife? I'm gonna have to check her text messages now. So they told me, or the one said to me, there is tremendous prejudice against gingers, and I never realized this. First of all, I never even heard the term ginger until recently.
There are.
It's a kind of a new term.
I
But you can get away with actually being prejudiced and mean to gingers, and it's okay everywhere. There's no, like, everyone else, it's like protected. You can't say something about black or Hispanic or even Asian.
Right.
But did you say something about a ginger? It's, no problem. It's all accepted. But he was saying, no, I'm very offended. This guy was walking down the street, and he said, someone yells out, hey, ginger. And he actually turned and go, what the fuck is your problem? He was like mad. He finally, like, lost it. He realized there's no protection for the gingers.
No.
No protection.
So maybe we'll have him in. Jeez, we're out of
We
time.
should do a PSA for gingers of let's not hate gingers, please.
Yes.
They have feelings. There's actually a soul hidden in the freckles and the red hair.
And you never know. You never know when you can have one.
Never know.
I have one now. We cherish our little ginger.
Came out of nowhere.
Christina, how can we find you on Twitter, right?
You can find me on Twitter at the Christina Cha, and that's with the CH, not a K or C, R C H R S T I N A. CHA.
Or like chai tea without the I.
Chai tea. I like that. I'll
Without
take it.
the I. I don't know. There's a lot of ways. I'm still having that problem with Shoemaker. It's Shoemaker like it sounds. Then they'll go UHCH with an umlaut.
No, you
it's
freaking
Shoemaker.
make a shoe.
Exactly. That's why I say like you make shoes and they still go CH. Where'd you learn how to spell it? DeVry? I swear to God, I go out and you can tell I have a little resentment. Hey, you're a great guest. I want you to
Thank
come
you.
back. You're so
I
much
would
fun.
love to. This is fun. I
hope
love it.
so. We go all over the place
go
with
way
our
back.
show. Well, next time, hopefully Sarah Sweet will be here. Joel Geist was your blue-eyed partner today. And Dave Niels, thanks for stopping in and stepping in. And Angelo, Stefan, our whole gang here. Our audience of one, who will handle any of your needs if you are dying. Well, we're all dying. But he handles all your death needs on
Planning on dying, come see
if
me.
you're planning on dying. That's a lot of people.
Actually.
We're all planning on dying at some point. He does our audience of one today,
Yeah.
which we gave him way more time than usual.
Yeah.
Bill Weiss with an A.
By the way,
Yes.
Anthony wants us to mention laughterhealsmovie.com. Go there for a sneak preview.
Oh, whoa, yes.
LaughterHealsMovie.com.
And also next week, the guest is Michael Orland from American Idol.
American Idol. He is the piano guy. He's the one that does all the arrangement. We have a lot of reality people on here, and we were so happy to have you from Survivor. But next week from American Idols, Michael Orland, who works with all of the musicians and all the singers.
That's cool.
I know you got to get inside. I love
No,
the
it's
inside
reality
peek
people
into
with
things.
actual talent. That's what I like.
Well, he definitely has actual
Yeah.
talent. So do you. It's really cool. But played my wife. Fabulous wife.
Can't wait to see it.
I said,
Is it
don't
aired?
worry about grabbing onto my arm. You can do it. She goes, I don't want to. I go, come on, give me, play rough with me. Come on.
You're not stepping any boundaries.
So check out laughterhealsmovie.com. And it doesn't have it on there, but I have an announcement to make. We are making the movie about laughter healing. We don't have a
Nice.
title yet. We're going through several titles. But I'm very excited. Our documentary about the healing powers of laughter is being done, along with many other projects as I move out of the stand-up world and into other worlds. Review us and rate us on iTunes. Next week, Michael Orland, we have a different time. It'll be 9 a.m. because then I'm flying off to Philadelphia to play Sellersville. This weekend, I'll be be at the Cocopa. I'm cuckoo for Cocopa Casino in Somerton or Yuma, Arizona, wherever it is. That's where I'll be just on Saturday night. Get your tickets quickly. It's selling out. Sellersville, I think, is sold out. So I'll see you there. Just wait outside for me because you can't get in. Anyway, it was a real pleasure. Thank you so much, Christina Cha, for being on our show. Sarah, I love you. I hope you come back next week. And Joel, thank you so much. And where's our goodbye? We need that goodbye. Should I throw a shoe? I don't know.
You should.
Shoot. I know how to do it. Shoot at it. Shoot. Shut the curtain. Shoot.